and their parents. Thank you to the players for your dedication to the Magi football team and to the parents for their support of the Mile High football program and each athlete. Please draw your attention to the south end of the track for introductions. Tonight we will be welcoming the Magician seniors and their parents. We'll start with number 4, Jacob Tice, and his parents, RJ and Carla Tice. Number 6, Dylan Sierra, with his parents, Hector Sierra and Stephanie King. Number 9, Talon Hebert, and his parents, John and Kathy Hebert. Number 10, Caleb Ring, escorted by his parents, Dean and Rihanna Ring. Number 15, Tegan Kinchin, escorted by his parents, TJ and Steph Kinchin. Number 16, Ashton Hillman, escorted by his parents, Shane Hillman and Leslie Holmes. Number 19, Eli Weeder. He is escorted by his parents, Lynn and Melissa Weeder. Number 21, Chase Burke, escorted by his parents, Nathan and Lisa Burke. Number 24, Tristan Zietz, escorted by his mother, Angie Cook. Number 28, Jacob Washik, escorted by his mother, Janice Dill. Number 29, Devin Hussey, escorted by his mother, Rolanda Hussey. Next is the daily double, number 30, Braden McCarty, and his twin brother, number 70, Bailey McCarty. They are the sons of Patrick and Tammy McCarty. Number 35, Jack Czar, escorted by his parents, Steve and Jerry Czar. Number 41, Ethan Johnson, escorted by his parents, Milo and Stephanie Vilmarovich. Number 44, Nicholas Beard, escorted by his parents, Kevin and Renee Beard. Number 48, Trent Deacon, and his parents, Sam and Tabitha Deacon. Number 59, Jackson Belgard, escorted by his parents, Mike and Penny Belgard. Number 63, Corey Armstrong, escorted by his parents, Flip and Jessica Armstrong. Number 69, Zach Mellis and his parents, Mike and Sheila Mellis. Number 74, Hayden Tinker, escorted by his parents, John and Lori Tinker. Number 78, Deontay George, escorted by his parents, Willie and Shirley Bowen. And number 81, Kyler Satron, escorted by his parents, Lon and Candy Satron. Senior cheerleader Zoe Schumann, escorted. She is the daughter of Adam Schumann and escorted tonight by her parents, Saskia and Corey Johnson. Senior cheerleader Allison Sheen, escorted by her mother, Chris Schwan. Ellie is the daughter of the late Kim Sheen. Senior cheerleader Dylan Allen, escorted by her parents, Mitch and Brandy Allen, along with her sister Lauren. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the senior class and their parents to the 2020-21 Magician football team.
Promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter, @NetworkPSP, and on Facebook, @The PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Don Bissett Motors wants your vehicle, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're offering overbook value on good, clean trade-ins. You heard me right, overbook on clean trades. If you're looking to lower your payment, now is the very best time to bring in your trade. If you want to sell yours outright, sell it to us. Go to Don Bissett Motors on North Hill and get your best deal, or check us out at click to buy at donbissettmotors.com. We deliver.
Go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
PSP Network proudly presents North Dakota High School Football. This presentation on the PSP Network is presented by Planet Pizza, Don Bissett Motors, Clean Tech, 28 Tastes and Taps, First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Premier Movement, Shields, Minot's Finest Collision Center, 701 Realty, North Country Sportswear, Arbo Photography, First International Bank and Trust, and Tires Plus. Now, let's go to the gridiron for the Planet Pizza pregame show.
It's week number 2 of the North Dakota High School football season, and tonight we're at the beautiful Dwayne Carlson Stadium for Minot High and Jamestown as they lock horns here in week number 2 alongside of the former Gatorade Player of the Year, Phil Shirek. I'm Nick Hulberg here for the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location. School parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. They also have the tastiest pizza in the Magic City. Call them now at 701-852-1700. That's 701-852-1700. Try their chicken wings if you're not in the mood for pizza here tonight. 15 games in a row. Minot High has had the upper hand on Jamestown, and tonight they meet in the 2020 season, week number 2. Jamestown comes in at 1-0 after a 7-point win over Dickinson. Minot got thumped by Mandan in Mandan 1 week ago. Phil, when you look at the matchup here tonight, how important do you think it is for both of these teams to continue to work on what they did last week and try to execute some of the stuff they didn't so well last week as well?
Well, I think it's really important right now, too. You got that extra bye week built in. You want to go into that with a little bit of momentum on your side, and you got to, it's new season still. You got a lot to work on, and hopefully both teams are able to give us a good game.
Last week in Dickinson, it was a Jamestown team that put up 28 points, winning 28-21. Minot in Mandan lost 33-14. We had the call of that game on the PSP network. In my mind, I said it to Chauncey Hendershot. You'll hear it in the interview coming up in just a moment in our coach's corner, but we talked about how there was just at times Minot High looked pretty good driving the ball down the field. Defensively, they looked good, but there was just more times than not last week that Mandan had the upper hand. What do you think the big thing is that they need to correct this week? Anything in your mind that they really need to work on?
I think offensively, it's the line. People kind of downplay how important that offensive line is, but if the line's got to kind of pick it up a little bit, get a little bit of push off the ball, that's going to be really huge for them. Get, their new quarterback a little bit more time, let him get comfortable back there. And then on the defensive side of the ball, maybe get those backers a little bit more disciplined. Like they were really aggressive. You love to see that, but too many times we kind of ran past the play and let it go underneath them.
Trevor Emke got the start last week in the quarterback position for Minot High. He went 7 for 14 for 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both of the scores for Minot High were through the air. Rushing was not the strong point for Minot High last week. Chase Burke, 17 attempts for 73 yards, averaged 4.3 yards per carry. Ruziska ended up with 17 yards. Emke ended up going backwards 6 yards. And then to finish out the whole stat line, Caleb Ring had 2 yards. That double-headed monster in that offensive Minot being able to throw the football and those backs trying to get down the field. You talk about that offensive line. But in order to win games in high school football, especially in the WDA, those numbers certainly would have to improve.
Yeah, you're going to have to run the ball a little bit better than that. In high school, today I don't think the wind will play as much of a factor. But, last week with that wind down there, you got to do a little bit better on the ground. And I think we'll see him maybe mix it up a little bit more, maybe see a Kinchin name on that list too, show him what he can do. But, that's one thing I know they were going to work to improve on this week in practice.
This is a Jamestown team that comes in with quite a bit of confidence after their win in week number 1, and a team that has kind of shuffled back and forth between the East Region and the WDA. They were down playing AA football back in 2017 and 18. They come back up to AAA last year. Minot High had a win over them last year. It's been 15 games in a row for the Magi that they've had the upper hand on this Jamestown team. How much of that do you think plays a factor in these kids' minds? Obviously, it's a new group every single year, but it has to be in the back there somewhere, do you think?
I hope that's something the Minot High kids don't know about. But as a Jamestown kid, they probably use that, get a little chip on their shoulder. But hopefully the Minot doesn't necessarily overlook them and do that, because I think they might come out and kind of try and do what Mandan did and just punch them in the mouth there.
It's the Planet Pizza pregame show. We'll continue to roll on. We'll get set up for tonight's opening kickoff. Next, we'll hear from Chauncey Hendershot, the head coach of the Magi, when we return to the Planet Pizza pregame show. High school football week number 2. The Magi and the Blue Jays rumble. And Dwayne Carlson Stadium tonight. It's PSP Network's presentation of North Dakota high school football.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
28 on the shot clock, 53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter, @NetworkPSP, and on Facebook, the PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Don Bissett Motors wants your vehicle, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're offering overbook value on good, clean trade-ins. You heard me right. Overbook on clean trades. If you're looking to lower your payment, now is the very best time to bring in your trade. Ever.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Network is made possible by Planet Pizza, Don Bissett Motors, Clean Tech, 28 Tastes and Taps, First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Premier Movement, Shields, Minot's Finest Collision Center, 701 Realty, North Country Sportswear, Arbo Photography, First International Bank and Trust, and Tires Plus. Make sure to stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Network by liking and following PSP Network on Facebook and Twitter. Pro Style Production Network, it's game day.
Inside Magi Football, powered by Shields. We're here with Chauncey Hendershot, the head coach of the Magi. First of all, Coach, let's go back to last week, the matchup with Mandan. We talked to Hunter Rosiska and some flashes of brilliance there. We talked about that in the first half. Second half just didn't seem like you guys had what it took to get the ball moving down the field. Your thoughts on the ball game overall on last Friday night?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call them flashes of brilliance, but there were moments. We certainly had positive moments in the first half. We were down 13-0 to a very physical team, and our kids battled back, and they started to fight. We had some stuff set up, and then we credit to Mandan. They're a big physical football team. We knew that going in, a very good football team, well coached. But we do feel a couple of those drives, we did it to ourselves a little bit. False start penalties, missed snaps. We can't do that and win in the WDA.
Talk about Emke just a little bit under center. Your thoughts on him on a quarterback rating for night number 1, first time under center. Your thoughts on the young kid?
I think more snaps he gets, the more comfortable he'll get. We're certainly happy with our quarterback stable and what we have there. And Caleb Ring, we'll get some snaps too, and we expect to see him. Second half on Friday night, we got out of rhythm and we're trying to pick up first downs. touchdowns, and just a combination of things kind of spiraled out of control. And before you knew it, we just didn't have an opportunity to get Caleb in.
What is the biggest focus this week at practice for your Magi team? Seems like a high tempo practice. What is the main focus?
Well, I think we've really tried to stress energy and focus on the rep, and every rep matters. Get back to that. I think Friday nights illustrated that against Mandan. We can have good plays, but we got to string them together. And if we have a false start, a bad snap, that puts us in a hole. And like we said, we can't play winning football that way. We're excited to get after it again. It's a very good Jamestown team this Friday, but our focus is just one rep at a time here at practice, bring energy, and live in that rep.
Talk about your defense just a little bit. It's an inexperienced crew, if you will. What has been the big focus for them to improve on after last Friday?
I think across the board, defense especially, just a lot of little things. Some kids that are stepping into varsity roles and under the Friday night lights. Maybe made one small mistake, and if you don't have all 11 guys in the same spot, we can get hit for some plays like Mandan got us on. But we're confident in that crew. Those guys are going to get better, and we had a good week of practice.
Talk about Jamestown a little bit more. They're 1-0 coming in after a 7-point win over Dickinson. They've got some skill guys with some accolades coming into the ballgame. Do you focus on those players this weekend?
Well, skill guys, and then up front, they're very physical as well. We think highly of their front seven. This is a team that is very confident, a program that's very confident, that's very physical, picked up a quality win down in Dickinson, and last year we went down there and we battled. It was a 21-14 ball game, and they gave us all we could handle. So we expect a team rolling off the bus from Jamestown ready to bring it and ready to give us their very best. Rep by rep is what you preach, and just game by game, but how important is week number 2 for Minot High football, looking to get into the win column here in 2020? Yeah, we certainly want to go out and play a good game, get our rhythm, and we'll let the scoreboard take care of itself. We got to focus on the rep, but this is a big week for us. Sure appreciate your time here today. Thank you.
Loyal and true, the school song for Minot High School takes place now as we get geared up and ready for our starting introductions. A national anthem here tonight. It's high school football in North Dakota here on the PSP Network. A big thank you to our good friends at Planet Pizza bringing you the ball game here tonight and the pregame show, 701-852-1700. They will deliver all night long tonight. Planet Pizza truly is out of this world. Try them tonight for dinner if you're in the mood, or if you're hungry now, maybe just want a little snack. So those chicken wings are pretty good. You can make that happen as well here tonight. We've got our national anthem coming up. We're going to take a step aside when we come back. We'll meet our starting lineups, and then we're going to kick it off tonight as Minot High and Jamestown. Longhorns in a West Region affair tonight here on the PSP Network. Don't go anywhere. High school football is next.
Systems go for luxury when supper time's upfront you. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. So convenient, to Planet Pizza.
Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Bassett Motors wants your vehicle, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're offering overbook value on good, clean trade-ins. You heard me right, overbook on clean trades. If you're looking to lower your payment, now is the very best time to bring in your trade. If you want to sell yours outright, sell it to us. Go to Don Bassett Motors on North Hill and get your best deal, or check us out at click to buy at donbassettmotors.com. We deliver.
Who's brought stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' banner
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. North Dakota High School football tonight at a WDA affair between Jamestown and Minot High. Nick Hulberg alongside of Phil Shirek for the call tonight here on the PSP Network. Hey, by the way, get COVID-19 deep cleaning services for your home or business with Clean Tech LLC. This proactive deep cleaning service includes disinfecting and sanitizing. Don't forget about Clean Tech's 24/7 disaster response and restoration services. Visit them online at cleantechllc.us. Clean Tech, coming to the rescue since 1992. Phil, Clean Tech brings us the starting lineups here tonight. At first, we'll look at the Jamestown Blue Jays. Offensive starters, Matt Anderson's going to play left tackle. The left guard will be Damian Krebs. Thomas Albert is going to be the center. The right guard is Cooper Kosel. Blaze Elton will be the right tackle. The tight end is Keith Levin. Preston Krober will be a wide receiver on the outside. He's a junior. So is Adam Kallenbach, another junior. Brody Hillstrom, a junior, will be a wide receiver as well, wearing number 31. In the backfield, Austin Kessler, and then the quarterback, a senior, Ty Munson. On the defensive side of the ball for Jamestown here tonight, they go with Matt Anderson, a senior. Ian Weiss will play nose tackle. Defensive end, Keith Levin. Austin Kessler will be a linebacker. Cole Mouse will be a linebacker as well. So will Ty Munson, the quarterback. He'll play in the linebacker position as well tonight with Paris Nightclub. Adam Kallenbach will play quarterback with Joel Bowman. Aiden Broad will play safety position, and so will Carter Birchill. The punter is Ty Munson. The kicker is Levi Corum. Here's how Minot High starts them here tonight. That right tackle for the Magi, Bailey McCarty, will start, the 6-foot-tall, 250-pound senior. At right guard, Coy Armstrong. Jackson Belgrade will play center. The left guard is Caleb Spencer. Zach Milas, the left tackle. Tight end, Kyler Satrin. Tegan Kitchen will play split end. The flanker tonight, Talon Hebert. Braden McCarty plays fullback with Chase Burke as the tailback. And Trevor Emke gets the start for the Magi in the quarterback position here again tonight. Defensively, nose guard for Minot High. Hayden Tinker will start with Coy Armstrong playing on the D-end. Same thing with Caden Turnbow. Ashton Hillman playing in a lineback position tonight with Tristan Zietz, Chase Burke, and Nick Beater. Tegan Kitchen's a quarterback, so is Jacob Tice. Ethan Johnson, the strong safety. Free safety is Eric Wentz. The kicker is Peyton Barch. 2 for 2 on point after attempts of the year. And Hunter Ruziska is going to be the punter here tonight. We've got our starting lineups taken care of. Brought to you by our good friends at Clean Tech. The anthem's been sung. What more do you have to say about a night like this? It has just turned into a beautiful night. The wind's gone down. The sun is starting to set. And we're just about set for a ball game tonight. In your mind, is there some keys for both of these teams to get a win here tonight?
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, hopefully the Magi line can get out and assert their dominance right away. And, Jamestown, by the sounds of it from last week, they're going to be right there trying to do the same thing.
Official introductions take place. A big thank you to our good friends at Tires Plus. When you're shopping tires, shop Tires Plus. All brands under one roof with guaranteed lowest prices. And check this out, their service after the sale with the Tires Plus plan. That's where I have all my vehicles serviced, is at Tires Plus. Oil change, tires, you name it. Simply put, Tires Plus is just in a different league. Standings around the state brought to you by Tires Plus, or from the West region, I should say. The Bismarck Demons are 1-0. Bismarck Sentries 1-0 after their ESPN performance in a win over Legacy. That ended up being a better football game than some thought towards the end. Jamestown's 1-0 and Mandan is 1-0. Teams with losses on the year, Legacy, Dickinson, Minot, and Williston. Bismarck high-handed Williston a 49-7 loss in week number 1. Hard to bounce back. Here's the games tonight. Bismarck is at Dickinson, Sentries at Mandan, Legacy at Williston, and Jamestown is here in Minot for this one here tonight. Minot High is going to be in their maroon uniforms. They're going to travel from the right to the left for the first half of football. Vegas gold trim. The all maroon here tonight. The Blue Jays from Jamestown are in their whites. They're trimmed out in blue with blue pants all the uniforms here tonight. Final thoughts to close out the Planet Pizza pregame show. It's Friday night. Let's play some football.
Beautiful night. Yep, it's what you play for right here.
We've talked about this a few times throughout this season so far and how fortunate we are to be able to be here. There's nothing better than coming to Dwayne Carlson Stadium of all places. This has to be one of the most beautiful football fields and venues in all of North Dakota. The way the sun goes down over on the west, and you get the nice look over the valley. What do you rate this place, 1 to 10? You have
well,
a favorite?
It's pretty, except for that sun beating in your eyes. I mean, you can see in the valley. It's very nice to look at. One thing, too, that you mentioned today is that wind has died down. Sometimes that plays a factor up on the hill, but tonight should be a nice, fair ball game going both ways on the field, and nobody will have any excuses about the passing game tonight.
Our good friend Andrew Goodmanson checked in before the ball game, as he always does, and as Andrew Goodmanson would say, let's play some football. Hey, Goody, thanks for your wise wisdom here tonight. Minot High to kick it off. And Barch has the ball on the tee. Let's get this one underway, and we're playing. Kick is going to be taken there by Jamestown Shep. He's going to cross over the 22-yard line up to the 25. He's going to be hauled up there, and the first down and 10 for Jamestown to start things off as Minot High and their defense looking to be strong here tonight. How much of a factor does a player like Ashton Hillman need to be on a night like tonight?
Well, I think, one thing we talked about is with those linebackers, you can't try and do too much because they've each got their own role in this defense, and he's got to play within himself. But if he can get a couple big hits early on, get his teammates fired up, that'll be huge.
Ty Munson, 6'2", 200-pound quarterback. From the shotgun position with one in the backfield, that's Austin Kessler. It's going to be a quarterback keeper running right up the middle over the 30, up to the 35, all the way up to about the 37-yard line. And a nice run there on the quarterback keeper from Ty Munson.
Ty Munson on the carry.
Yeah, kind of an interesting look there from Minot that you haven't seen too much of lately. It was a true 3-4. Then we'll kind of see what Jamestown does throughout the game to match up with that.
Munson again in the shotgun formation here. The man in motion, that's Krober. While the keeper again, it's going to be tossed to the outside, intended there for Adam Kallenbach. Yeah, the coverage was there for Minot High, brings up a second down.
Yeah, like I said, Nick, that 3-4, you don't really see that too much from the Magi there. I don't know if that's kind of their new scheme now, or they're just they think they match up better, but good coverage there.
After a week one performance where they gave up 33 points, how much of that defensive scheme and changing on the coach's side of things was a focus you'd have to assume?
Yeah, I think now, after one game, it's a little bit different than a game than in practice, where the coaches kind of see how the players react to space and contact in a game situation, and now you can kind of make an adjustment to your scheme based on those athletes.
It's going to be a 3rd down and 10 here for Jamestown. 3 plays into the first drive of the ball game tonight, scoreless here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Handling now is Munson. He's going to bloop this one out, the quick hitter, if you will. It's taken up almost to the first down marker. Do they get enough on the 10-yard gain? We'll see where they place the football, but we're going to have probably a measurement coming here.
You got it.
First down for Jamestown. Fair to call that a quick hitter, like you said?
Yeah, that was more of a true screen pass. They must have seen something on the film where when, third and long situations that Minot tends to blitz a little bit, so they kind of use that aggressiveness in their favor.
Shotgun formation again here for the Blue Jays. 2 wideouts on the right side, over on the left hash. Quarterback keeper up over the 50-yard line and then hauled down there. The defensive stop was made. In on the play was Burke for Minot High. Also helping out for the Magi on the tackle was number 14, Eric Wentz. And Wentz was busy in man-to-man the other night as well. He's done a nice job from that linebacker position.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's back there at free safety. I think, he saw a few plays back there pretty well and made some great reads in man-to-man. Hopefully he continues with that.
High snap. It's going to be in the possession of the quarterback. This one's going to be tossed downfield, wide open with the football. Unable to keep his hands on it was Brody Hillstrom. That was almost 6 points on the board, and Hillstrom just fumbled the football just a bit. Kind of a juggling act at the Minot High 20-yard line. Brings up a third down.
Yeah, you could kind of see the two defensive backs there from Minot kind of having a little chat with each other. I think they got some signals crossed as to what coverage they were in. Good job by their quarterback, too. He kind of got hit. He was hit when he was releasing that ball, but that was still right on the money.
6'2", 200 pounds. Good size quarterback here for high school ball. He's going to fire it again. This time the ball almost intercepted. That one was right on a tee. It went right through the hands of Jacob Tice, and it brings up a fourth down for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I think, you kind of appreciate the fact that wide receiver missed that one play, and now you're back alive, and they made a pretty good stop there, and hopefully they can make some positive yardage on offense, set the tone.
Hunter Ruziska's back to retrieve the punt.
Hunter Ruziska.
The ball's going to be towered up. Ruziska calling for the fair catch. Look out, it's going to hit traffic there. Ball's going to roll all the way down to about the 12-yard line. Falling on it here, and Minot High is going to possess the football. Did that touch a Blue Jay or a Magician? That's the question mark here.
Yeah, without a instant replay in the, looks they are going to bring it back up there. Good bounce from Minot there.
Ball had to have touched a Jamestown player, so it will bring up a first down and 10 for Minot High. Their first offensive drive of the ball game, led by the quarterback Trevor Emke, the junior at 6'3", 210 pounds. 2 touchdowns through the air on the year. They're going to bring a new game ball in, so we're going to have just a moment. One of the things that I noticed with Emke and Mandan last Friday night, he had a little bit of a hard time managing the game clock. In a situation like that, how much emphasis do you think that was at practice this week? Obviously, that's a real important key.
Yeah, I think they got to work on, getting up to the line with some immediate urgency where last week they just kind of, felt like they got the play in quick enough, but they just didn't get up to the line.
Flip back to Burke. He's going to cut back. He's up around the 27-yard line. Second down, and Burke's got a gain of about 2 on the play.
Brings up second down.
Jace Burke, a dynamic player, fun to watch, averaging 4.3 yards per carry here on the 2020 season for the senior running back. Numbers that, of course, he would like to improve on as the starting running back for Minot High. 2 wideouts now come out over on the left side. Burke in the backfield. Emke from the shotgun. This is a second down, the man in motion. Ball's going to be handed off here, running to the outside, making the cut, trying to get downhill, unable to do so. Eric Wentz was wrapped up nicely there. And the Blue Jays defense showing what kind of power they have on the stop there.
Yeah, that was just that true jet sweep right there. That defensive end, that outside linebacker over there made a good play. Allowed his buddies time to get up and to get the tackle. And we'll see kind of what Minot does off of that play.
8:42 left in the first quarter. Neither team on the scoreboard yet. 0-0 ball game from Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Big thank you to Beaupre Law helping bring the broadcast to you folks here tonight. Emke rolls it out. He's going to make the pass recepted. Picked up there by Dylan Sierra. And Sierra's going to make the play all the way up to the 49-yard line. And the Magi move the chains for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I think that was a really good read by Emke there. I think that play was designed to get just out into the flat there, but he picked that defender up and was able to check down, see the guy, and make a really nice throw.
High-tempo practice this week when I stopped by to visit with Chauncey Hendershot and Hunter Ruziska at practice. Play that they worked on quite a bit. That one right there, and that time connecting from Emke to Tegan Kitchen. And the 5'8" wide receiver picks up a handful of yards. It's going to be a second down and 6 now for the Magi as we're down to under 8 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's just kind of that quick hitter you're talking about to the outside there. Just let your athletes be athletes, get the ball in their hands, and see if they can make a guy miss.
Under center now is Emke. Wideouts on each side from the left hash. Man in motion for Minot High is Hebert. It's going to go right up the middle and gain of about 1 on the play. It's going to bring up a third down. It looks to be 2.5 here for Minot High with 7:45 left here in quarter number 1. Well, you talk about this Jamestown-Minot rivalry and this rivalry that goes back quite a few years. You got to go back into the record books all the way back to 2002 is when Jamestown had their last victory over the Magi. Ruziska from the backfield brings it forward. He's going to cross over for a close to a first down. Where they spot the ball.
Ruziska with the carry.
And the chains will move. First down for the Magi.
Isaac Rostenbach.
Good job by the line there, creating that
that's
surge,
another
getting that
Magi.
yard that they needed.
Down.
Talking to you before the ball game here tonight, and for anyone that doesn't know who you are, quarterback for the Magi, back in 99, 2000, senior Gatorade Player of the Year for football. This one flipped back over to Burke, makes a cut, then he's going to be swarmed up and gobbled up there. Nice defensive job from the Blue Jays. Analyze that play for us from the defensive side of the ball.
That's just their guys were disciplined out there on the far side of the field. And when the guys they don't necessarily have to make the play like that, but when they stay at home, they do their job. All of a sudden, they let them linebackers run free, and they're able to come up, make the tackle like that for a loss on the play. And, it truly is a team game there.
From the shotgun this time, Emke on the second down. There's going to be a flag on the play. We'll wait for the call coming here in just a
Flag on
moment.
the play.
False start to the offense. Is that
Empty
correct?
pass intended for Ruziska.
I think so. I'm not.
We go back to your time at Minot High as a quarterback. You were named the Senior Gatorade Player of the Year for high school football. The Jamestown rivalries in that time, back when you played for Minot High, you had a win 35-7 over the Blue Jays your senior year. Your junior year, 25-7. You guys got a win there. How much do you remember those ball games now, a handful of years later, as you're here in your mid-30s now?
Yeah, quite a handful of years later. Yeah, it's always, you always, every once in a while you'll sit around and talk about the old days, but you sure remember them.
Ball's going to be handed off, making the play to the outside, trying to get downhill up the sidelines. And on the carry there for Minot High with the football. A nice run from Talon Hebert. But Minot High is going to be pinned back on the second down. They've got a long way to go here. A second down, and
we got a penalty here.
Another penalty on Minot High. That's a bad break for the Magi, stuff that they would certainly like to have cleaned up. They're bringing the ball all the way back to the 40-yard line. So this is going to be a second down and a long, they don't have it on the board yet. I'll call them 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 yards on the second and 30. Off to Hunter Ruziska, runs right up the middle. He's going to take a chunk out of it there, and Ruziska's got a nice run. He's a well-built kid running downhill.
Yeah, he's got not the tallest player, but he's got that good leverage, good center of balance, being low, and he's hard to bring down.
28 Tastes and Taps is now open if you're hungry. You'll leave satisfied. I guarantee it. 28 Tastes and Taps has a unique menu that guarantees to have your mouth watering. They're open 7 days a week, located on South 16th Street. 28 Tastes and Taps, a family restaurant that's locally owned. Right up the middle again, and the Jamestown defense, Johnny on the spot, making the stop as Chase Burke couldn't get anywhere. Brings up a fourth down for the Magi.
Yeah, that's kind of a tough one to play call on. You don't prepare a lot for third and 22, but trying to get them off guard there with a little draw play, and one of their linemen just stuck their hand out and got him.
Ruziska is back to punt this one away, and waiting here for the Blue Jays. This is Shemp, and Ruziska towers it high in the air. He's got a good foot on him. Ball's going to take him out at high bounce. Rolls all the way down inside the 10-yard line, and then the Magi will fall on it there. And Hunter Ruziska, if you can't say much, you can certainly say that he can boot that football without a doubt.
Yeah, they've had pretty good luck this year with the punt. One thing that was a highlight of the week last week was how they were able to change field position with Mandan, and it looks like they're going to be able to do the same thing here.
Jamestown head back inside their own territory. Ball inside the 10-yard line. I think there's some score clock issues here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium tonight. First down for the Blue Jays, and they're going to get some help from the Magi as encroachment on the defense. Offsides on the defense is actually the call coming from the field. Your high school playing days, do you have a memory that stands out as one of the best that comes to your mind when I ask you high school football time?
Well, I think playing in the state championship as a junior was pretty good time. We didn't walk away with a win that game, but I just remember how tired, and I had the shoulder injury from the week before playing and just was hurt, tired, and sad, but it's one of those deals where you couldn't – felt like I left it all out on the field, and that was a pretty good feeling at least.
Way back in 1999, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Make me sound old.
Yeah. I'm feeling old. I'm letting my beard grow, and all of a sudden I'm going gray. I didn't know about it. Handoff here, and the ball's going to be run for a first down, and a head forward to the Blue Jays. Moving the chains again on the first down. Waiting on a spot here for you in just a moment on the carry.
Kessler on the carry, tackled by Wentz.
Austin Kessler, 6 foot tall, 205-pound senior.
Yeah, you looked pretty impressive on that play. You ran through a couple arm tackles and then was able to make just enough of a juke to get around that free safety coming up there.
Sun's going down at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Ball's up into the hands of the wideout over on the left side, and the completed pass was there from Ty Munson. And another gain of about 2 on the play is going to bring up a second down here for the Blue Jays and 5 to go.
Yeah, one thing I'm kind of noticing a little bit, like I know last week we talked about the arm tackles. We're making contact coming up, but one thing that the Jamestown guys are doing is they're keeping their feet moving at the point of contact, where the Minot guys kind of stop their feet.
Ball's handed off here and run up the gut again. And Jamestown continues to drive it down the field. Kessler had the carry there. It's going to be a third down and a real short. Looks like within inches. Nope, they're going to mark it a first down, and the chains are moving here for the Blue Jays as they continue to march it down the field. 3:25 left here in the first quarter. Still a 0-0 ball game with Jamestown and Minot High here tonight. Sun's almost completely down over on the west, right over top of Trestle Valley here in the beautiful Minot, North Dakota. Munson's going to handle the football. Hot pursuit. Hillman couldn't get him. Ball's going to be taken. Bob downfield. The Hail Mary pass. It's caught and all the way down inside the 20-yard line. How about Munson connecting there all the way down to Keith Levin. And Levin pulls the football down, and the Blue Jays move it all the way down inside the red zone.
Yeah, Ashton Hillman did a real good job putting pressure on the quarterback. Just couldn't quite finish it in the backfield. The quarterback made a nice move, and as you said, he wasn't afraid to let that thing fly. And you know, not to say it was bad coverage, their receiver just went up and made a real nice play.
He had an easier time throwing the football 30 yards down the field than I had saying Hail Mary. Tried to grab that one. What a play there for the Blue Jays. Munson again. This time he's going to roll it out to the right side. Hillman's all over him. And Hillman is going to hog tie him down with 2:30 left here in our first quarter of football. And a nice play there from Ashton Hillman.
Yep. Yeah, Hillman's kind of been all over the place. That time he was able to make the play. Hopefully he can get his teammates fired up.
Munson to the shotgun again. Wideouts on the right side. 3 over on the left. A different formation than we've seen here from Jamestown so far tonight. Completed pass. It's going to go out of the hands there of 26 Krober. He's out to the sideline inside the 10-yard line. And Munson to Krober. And Jamestown showing why they have a 1-0 mark on the year so far. Nice drive for them.
Yeah, very nice drive. And as you alluded, they're in a trips left. They got a guy split out to the right. Just the quarterback and a running back in the backfield. They're pretty wide open formation there, and now they're back to the power I.
2 in the backfield here for the Blue Jays. The man in motion, that's Shemp. Going to be pushed up the gut again, trying to get the first down here for the Blue Jays. It's going to bring up a first down. And a first down to goal now here for the Blue Jays as the ball's inside the 10-yard line. We're down under 2 minutes to play here the first quarter. A minute 56 to be exact. 0-0 ball game tonight here from Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Sure hope you're enjoying the ball game tonight. Thanks for joining us on the PSP Network. Nick Hulberg alongside of Phil Shirek as the Blue Jays inside Magi territory with 2 right to make it 3 wideouts on the right side. Munson on the keeper. He's going to power his way through all the way down to the 3-yard line. And Munson showing why he's got some power here in the backfield here for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they spread them way out, and you still got a quarterback that's 200 pounds, which is pretty good size for high school football. and he becomes a pretty good running threat right there.
Blue Jays are going to bring it up. Down to 20 seconds here on the play clock. Deep inside Minot's red zone. Push to the outside. Tried to get around the edge, and the play will come to a stop on the short attempt there.
Ruziska with the tackle.
You hear it there. Hunter Ruziska made the play for the Magi.
Yeah, one thing they're doing, they're sure mixing up the spread offense with more of a power formation here. Makes it tough on a defense to adjust all that.
Munson hands it off in the backfield, trying to burst his way into the end zone. It's Cole Doctor, and Doctor's all the way up to the goal line. Not quite there. It's going to bring up a 4th down and goal situation, and this is going to be the biggest play of the first half here for the Magi. Even bigger for Jamestown, trying to score the first points of the ball game. 4th down at the goal line. On the quarterback keeper, they're going to push their way into the end zone, and Munson makes his way through, and we've got a 6-0 ball game. Jamestown strikes for first blood.
Yeah, though, I think one thing you could notice there when you look the Jamestown line, they kind of dropped their butts a little bit more than the Minot High guys did. They were able to use that leverage and keep pushing and find the goal line.
So Munson crosses over the stripe into the end zone, 6-0. Jamestown's on top. Now the extra point attempt. That one's up. We're waiting for the signal through the uprights. And 1 for 1 of the night from Adam Kallenbach as Jamestown leads 7-0. As Minot High will go back to offense, but we're almost out of time. We're down to 14 seconds here in our first quarter.
Yeah, we'll see how Minot can answer back. Last week against Mandan, they were able to answer back, being down 13. Hopefully they can answer back right away tonight and keep that momentum going.
When you see the different offenses like that, let's go back to that last drive for Jamestown. They really did a nice job spreading the plays out. Would that be a fair assessment of that drive for Jamestown?
Yeah, their formation, like you said, they go trips one side and a receiver split to the other side. Like all of a sudden you're bunched where you got linebackers right on top of each other. Everybody's spread out, having to cover a lot of distance, a lot of field, and then they come back with that power formation. Sometimes you don't have necessarily the personnel that you want in there too, so that kind of becomes a guessing game as a coach because it's hard to get guys in and out real quickly like that.
And Hebert need to return from the
Dallin Hebert and Hunter Ruziska are back to retrieve. Kallenbach's going to put the boot on it. Sends it down, and it's Ruziska that's got it at the 15-yard line. Ruziska all the way up over the 30. He's going to break free up to the 40, and Hunter Ruziska gets on his horse, and Ruziska brings it up to midfield, and a nice play there from Hunter Ruziska on the return.
Yep, very good right there. That's exactly what Minot needed. Great starting off with real good field position. Nice big return. And that hit where you saw his feet flying there, sometimes it doesn't feel too bad. It looks a little worse than it is as a guy coming in low, but I'm sure Ruziska will bounce back just fine right there.
He had a 31-yard return to Mandan 1 week ago. Just about that here at the end of the first quarter. We're down to 9 seconds now as the Magi have the ball at the 40-yard line. A wide out on each side with 2 in the backfield. One of them is Burke. He's got it. He's up over the 42-yard line, and Burke's going to be wrestled to the ground now, and it brings up a 2nd down and 8 to go for the Magi. But that does it for our first quarter of play. Minot High trails Jamestown at the end of 1 quarter of football. It's 7-0 from Dwayne Carlson Stadium here in Minot, North Dakota. We'll come back with our second quarter and the remainder of the first half. 7-0 Blue Jays. This is North Dakota High School football on the PSP Network.
It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Seven nothing at the end of the first quarter. Quarterback keeper from Ty Munson for the Blue Jays. As Jamestown on top tonight to this WDA affair. Minot High's got the ball back to start the second quarter of play. Nick Hulberg alongside of Phil Shirek here on the PSP Network. We sure hope you're enjoying the ball game here tonight. The pitch got back over to Chase Burke. He continues to run downhill, and Chase Burke thought they had him at the 45-yard line. Gets all the way up to the 50. The chains move for the Magi.
Those are the kind of runs that gets your teammates fired up. Made a really nice gain even after contact there. So hopefully you get a couple more of those, but it sure woke everybody up here, as you could hear.
Unique situation, of course, with only so many opportunities for tickets to be handed out. 4 tickets per player. Due to COVID-19 and all the restrictions there, it's still loud tonight. The Minot High fans in their home opener trying to make some noise for the Magi, who trail 7-0. There's going to be a run there by Ruziska. He gains about 4 on the play. Brings up a second down here for the Magi.
Kessler and Weiss with the tackle.
The line's getting a little better surge out of here. Probably the coaches might have saw a matchup or something that they liked and try and pick up on it and see if we can tell everybody what's going on.
Under center, here's Emke. Wide out on each side, 2 in the backfield. It's Caleb Ring back there along with Chase Burke, I do believe. Ruziska make it rather. Ruziska's got it. He's wrangled up. Jared Allen style there is coming flying in, making the play for the Blue Jays is number 80, Keith Levin.
Yeah, just a really nice play there. It was disciplined. There are 2 guys right there and stuffed them pretty well.
Offensive line is the big question mark for Minot High going into the 2020 season. How do you improve on that offensive line with a lot of guys that just don't have a bunch of varsity experience? Is there anything that you can really focus on and do to improve that, or is that just kind of time and reps that make those guys better in that position?
I think it's, there's a lot of things. Like time and reps is huge. We got a timeout for the Magi, but time and reps is huge. They've also got to communicate and just trust the coaches when they do their drills and form. There's a lot of footwork involved in being an offensive lineman.
Timeout by the Magi. We're down to 10-12 left here in the first half. Minot High trailing 7-0 here to Jamestown. I'd like to thank our friends at Tires Plus. PSP Network relies on Tires Plus to get us to the games. We all have busy schedules, by the way, so a 15-minute drive-through oil change is a game changer. If you're on the go, have your vehicle serviced at Tires Plus. You'll leave with a smile. The service is second to none. Visit Tires Plus online at TiresPlusND.com. Big thank you to Tires Plus, their continued support of athletics around the state of North Dakota and the PSP Network. Third down long here for Minot High as Emke has a man in motion. That's Ring. The handoff fake. Back to pass as Emke. He's going to bomb this one downfield. Intended there for Ruziska. Ruziska made the push on the play. There's going to be a flag that comes out. Is that going to be on the offense or the defense, do you believe?
Yeah, that'll be offensive pass interference right there. They'll probably decline it, make it 4th down, and have Minot punt. But that's a situation where you don't get too upset with Ruziska. The ball, for better or for worse, was just kind of floated up there, and Jamestown probably had a better opportunity at that ball, so Ruziska kind of made a heads-up play, making sure they weren't going to intercept it. And they did decline it right away, so Minot will punt, and kind of no harm, no foul there, I guess. But, that's one of them. Like I said, that's a situation where that's a pretty heads-up play by him.
He's going to stay on the field. He'll be the one that will punt this one back away as Minot High faces the 4th down and the long 9 to go here. Ruziska's going to put the boot on it. Hammers this one down all the way inside the 15-yard line. Make it inside the 20. And the fair catch was called and wrangled up by Jacob Sheps. So Jamestown comes back out of the field for another drive here in our second quarter of football. They lead 7-0 with under 10 minutes to play here in half number 1. If you're Minot High, the big focus is having more reps and more opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. They just haven't really had that rolling in their favor yet. How do you get into a rhythm from that position, Phil, when it just seems like the train really hasn't got on the tracks yet?
You just start with 1 first down, and then you get the second first down, and then you just kind of keep rolling that way.
Can be very frustrating. Ball's handed off there up to Austin Kessler, and Kessler's got a gain of 1 on the play, brings up a second down. You'll see that with a young team and an inexperienced team, but somebody trying to make a play here for the Magi. trying to stay positive for those guys would have to be probably their biggest challenge right now at this point.
Yeah, I think that's one other thing too. It's a lot easier to sit up here and say you just get 1 first down than 2, but you just got to keep the kids even keeled and keep them positive, and just let them realize that it's going to happen.
The keeper, Munson's going to fire this one across. Nice play there. Munson got it up to Kallenbach. They move the chains up to the 30-yard line. And a nice play by Munson. He sure seems patient back in the pocket.
He did. He made a really nice read there. Like the scouting report might be out with where the Minot backers will tend to bite on a fake because they kind of came up there. He just found the tight end underneath. But he had a couple other guys down here at the bottom of the field. But that was a nice read and move the chains for him.
9 minutes, 12 seconds left here in the first half. Minot High trails Jamestown at 7-0. Blue Jays with the football again in a first down and 10 from their own 30-yard line. On the fake handoff, comes back to Munson. And then nice job there defensively from Minot High's Tristan Zietz. Johnny on the spot, he made a nice play taking down the quarterback.
Yeah, that's one thing. It looked like they switched up the backers that came on a blitzer. I know we've said Trey Hillman's name coming from the outside, but that time Zietz came kind of, I don't think it was a stunt. I didn't see the whole play, but looked like he came from more of the interior and was able to chase him down.
Timeouts to the quarterback here for Jamestown, taking just a moment. His shoes not tied, so they're going to give him just a second on the equipment failure. The game clock down to 15. They're going to move it back to 25 seconds.
I guess an official judgment call.
If you're on the Minot High coaching staff, you're saying, where's the timeout called? Maybe here. On the keeper, Munson moves it forward, brings up a third down, and he lost some yards on the play all the way back down to the 27-yard line here for the Blue Jays. And they've got a third down and 13 here with 8:02 left in our first half of football. Jamestown leads Minot 7-0.
Yep, and as we kind of saw there, we had one of the big linemen from Minot come off the field, and they ran out another defensive back. We'll see if that helps them out.
Trips on the left side here for the Blue Jays. Back to pass, Munson. He's rushed out of the pocket. Fires over on the near side up to the 30-yard line, over the 35, up to the 40. And Munson connects there. And the Blue Jays doing a nice job moving the ball again. That time Preston Krober made the play. And he gains a handful of the play. It's going to bring up a fourth down at 4 here for the Blue Jays. And a nice job defensively again from the Magi, making sure the stop was made to bring out the punter again for Jamestown.
Yeah, it looks good. They did enough. They put enough pressure on the quarterback to make him not very comfortable back there and check down right away to not get further yardage. So they got to stop.
Hunter Ruziska back to retrieve. The ball's going to be towered up in the air. Ruziska calls for the fair catch. No, he didn't. He touched it at the 30. Ball rolls out of bounds at the 30-yard line. I thought he called for the fair catch. Hit him right to the belly, and the football rolls to the out-of-bounds side of things on the Minot sideline. Brings up a first down for the Magi, and that was a scary play there for Ruziska.
Yeah, I think that, like we touched on being frustrated and stuff, and another thing is you don't want kids to try and do too much or kind of, not stay within themselves, and that might have been a situation there where Ruziska really wanted to make a big play and get some yardage, and the Jamestown guy was right there, so he might have taken his eye off it. Luckily, it rolled safely out of bounds.
Wide receivers on each side for the Magi. The man in motion is Hebert. It's pitched back here to Burke, and Burke's going to make the play up to the 30-yard line. Doesn't gain much on the play, if any. It brings up a second down and 10 for the Magicians.
So one interesting thing I noticed last series when they ran a guy in motion across, we had this defensive back, number 15 here. He actually ran into a linebacker, and they both fell down. And that time, probably in a different coverage too, but I'm not sure if it was if the coaching staff saw that from Jamestown and decided to switch out of that coverage type. We'll see if this is a secondary option here. Maybe that Minot can take an advantage of that.
The chess match within the game. From up here in the booth with the coaching staffs on each side. Emke's going to roll it out. He's going to find a man downfield. That's Kitchen trying to make the play. And he ends up out of bounds on the opportunity. Incomplete pass. And that's going to bring up a third down here for the Magi and a long 10 to go.
Yeah, that's not a very bad ball there. I don't know if you remember Randy Moss when they had the Vikings where they would everybody was so concerned about Randy Moss getting downfield. Kinchin's real fast too. I don't think anybody wants him by then. So if they can throw a back shoulder fade where he kind of slows down and comes back and gets it, that could be successful for him.
Ball's going to be handed off on the third down, and not a whole lot of room to get anywhere up the middle there for Chase Burke. Make it Ruziska instead, and it's going to bring a 4 and out here for the Magi. They're going to have to 3 and out for the Magi. They're going to have to punt it away here on the 4th down.
Things up 4th down. Ruziska beat the punt. Beat the return for Blue Jays.
Yeah, hopefully the Magi will get her back this half and see if they can get a few more first downs.
5:47 left here in our first half of football. Jamestown's up 7-0. Ball's towered down to the 40-yard line, then rolls out of bounds at about the 34, and it will be a first down here for the Blue Jays. A point of concern for sure for Minot High football with not a whole lot of first downs in the season, and moving the chains has definitely been an issue for them here in 2020. Not to beat a dead horse or to be negative in any way. It's just one of those things that hard to win football games when you're 3 and out every time down the field.
Yeah, and I mean that time too. I know they tried for that long pass, and that obviously it starts out, but 3rd and 10 is hard to get. If they can get to 3rd and short, it makes it a little bit more attainable. And like I've mentioned before, like people don't understand how important those linemen are.
4 wide receivers over on the right side. Munson's going to toss this one off. Incomplete pass. Minot High thought maybe a fumble on the play. Out with it came Chase Burke. It's going to be whistled. An incomplete pass brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was pretty close to being, a backwards pass. So once that's a free ball for Minot, even if they don't catch it. So all the Minot guys were right there ready to hop on it. But interesting look with the true five wide receiver set for Jamestown back there. As a quarterback, that's something to be fun, but we'll see what they do here.
Munson from the shotgun. Wideouts on each side. This ball's going to be fired right through the middle. It's completed all the way up into the gloves there of Preston Krober, and Krober crosses the Minot High 40. He's then wrestled down at the 36-yard line, and that setup certainly worked for the Blue Jays on a nice give-and-go opportunity there, and Jamestown moves the chains again in big time.
Yeah, that's just something where now you see one of the big guys from Minot come off the field. That's just something where the quarterback walks up to the line, and he knows who he's going to throw it to. He kind of looks at the uncovered guy, and it's just as soon as he gets it, it's out of his hand.
Blue Jays moving and grooving again. Football's handed off. Breaking free on the outside. Going for the edge is Shemp. He's going to cut it down to the 10-yard line. And Shemp made a play there. He got all the way over the 20, down to the 15. Got inside the 10-yard line and made a play to the edge. And that was almost 13-0 Jamestown.
Yeah, that time too, the Magi had a backer with real good contact in the backfield. They just couldn't wrap him up and get him down to the turf.
First down and goal. They're deep in the red zone now. Jamestown leads 7-0. We approach the 4:30 mark here of the first half. Munson on the quarterback keeper right up the middle. He's going to cross over the 5-yard line. And Munson is going to move it forward again all the way down to the 4-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down and goal here for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that same thing there. They spread them all out and then run it right up the middle. Like basically that Munson, he's been pretty impressive so far. He's put some balls on the money, and when the team needs him to, he's kind of been a workhorse running the ball too.
Jamestown off to a good start at 1-0 here on the year. They're a team that all time against Minot High, listen to this number, 2 wins and 23 losses all time since 1975. And they continue to run the ball downfield here. And Ruziska's going to make the play, but the run from Jacob Shemp brings them inside the 2-yard line, and the Blue Jays looking to strike for more blood. They lead 7-0. 3:43 left here in the first half. Middle of the field as the Magi fans come alive trying to see if the hometown team can make the stop. Looks like they're in the end zone. We've got a 13-0 ball game. And guess who? Munson's 2nd touchdown of the ball game, and the quarterback and the big man runs it right downhill into the maroon end zone. And it's 13-0 Jamestown.
Yeah, not well. Like we said last week, they were down 13-0. Maybe they can bounce back again. Not exactly the way you wanted to start the game here, but not much you can do now.
So the Munson carry of just over a yard and a half.
No good.
Kick was no good after the fact, and now it's a 13-0 ball game as we continue to tick down towards our Premier Movement halftime report. 3:33 left here in the first half. We're going to take a quick step aside. When we come back, Minot High will receive the kick. 13-0 Jamestown on top. This is North Dakota High School football.
It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
13-0 Jamestown on top here in this WDA matchup tonight. They're going to kick it off, and Minot High will have Chase Burke and Ruziska back to receive here for the Magi as we're down to 3:33 left here in our first half of football. Ball's going to come back to Ruziska. He's going to make the play. Cuts back away at the 30-yard line, all the way up to the 40, now the 50. Ruziska's going to break free at the 40, down the sideline to the 20, 15, 10. Hunter Ruziska to the house. Show me the money. He scores, and the Magi have a huge play from Hunter Ruziska. One end of the field to the other. How did you like that, Phil?
That's awesome. That's exactly what they needed. That's a real good way to get everybody fired up. It's a good momentum getter. Let's see how Minot handles it here on defense on this next series.
Well, Ruziska on the special teams has certainly been a player to watch for, and one that has been good for some highlights out of the year. His second touchdown of the season, and Ruziska took that one to the house from roughly the 11-yard line, and he goes the distance. And Loyal and True starts to play here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium as the Magi and Barch trying to put in the extra points. Hits the upright on the left side, and Barch is now 2 for 3 of the year, and we've got a 13-6 ball game.
It's the score of Jamestown Blue Jays 13, your Minot edition.
Well, that's all right, though. Let's see how the defense here comes out. Hopefully they're fired up. Again, playing within themselves, making those tackles, and continuing to drive their feet through the tackle. Big thing here now for Minot, is they can't let that same thing happen. I've seen that happen several times. You know, you're all fired up, ready to go, sprinting down, want to make the huge hit, and you kind of run by them and you get down to the end zone. So hopefully Minot can make a big stop here, play some defense.
Hunter Ruziska took that one about 80 yards. We'll see if we can get the official number for you here up in the booth at the Premier Chiropractic and Premier Movement halftime report. But Ruziska certainly shows his athleticism. He was good on the baseball field this summer for the Vistas, and a guy that one of the young guns for the Minot Vistas this summer. Did a nice job for them there, and obviously doing a great job here for Magi football. Second touchdown of the year. 13-6. Jamestown's on top, and they field the football back at their own 15-yard line. All the way up to the 30, and then the Magicians and a swarm of defenders are there to make the stop. And the Blue Jays offense comes back out with 3:13 to play here in the first half. They lead by a touchdown.
Yeah, we'll see what Minot does to kind of combat that spread look, or see what they do if they switch, add some more defensive backs in there. Or.
When you've got an offense like that for Jamestown, that again now as you see them come out, they're going to put trips over on the left side. They've got a single wide receiver on the right side and one in the backfield. Certainly makes it more of a challenge to defend when you've got a quarterback like Munson, who's obviously able to throw the ball. They hand it off this time and run it up the gut for a gain of 1. But defensively on the fly, how much is a guy like Hillman, one of the captains of that defense, calling shots when they see that formation?
I think they're going to have to make adjustments. It's a lot of adjustments. It's a lot of coverage changes. Based on how many receivers there are, different assignments for guys, you got to be communicating well out there.
2 wideouts on the left side again. Munson has some heat there from Hill, but he's just going to carry the football. And the Magi do a nice job swarming up the Jamestown quarterback. It's going to bring up a third down here for the Blue Jays and a long 9 to go. Nice job from the Magi.
Yeah, way to put pressure on the quarterback. Those guys, the interior lineman also provided some pushback there, so he really didn't have anywhere to run. So if they can keep that up, let's hope that they can keep making those adjustments.
Magi call a timeout. We'll keep it right here on the PSP Network and thank our friends at Tires Plus again. When you're shopping for tires, the only place in my mind to shop is Tires Plus. They have all brands under one roof. Check this out, Phil. They have a low price guarantee. You can't beat it. Tires Plus, locally owned and operated here in the Magic City. Big thank you to Tires Plus. Simply put, in my mind, they're just in a different league. I say that all the way around. And Tires Plus, with the low price guarantee to service after the sale's another one for them. Tires Plus, worth a visit if you need an oil change, service work, and of course, brand new tires. TiresPlusND.com. 13-6 ball game. The Magicians and Hunter Ruziska have a highlight that brings them back into the ball game, and that was a huge scoring play for the Magi because one more from Jamestown and could have almost been a dagger at this point in the ball game.
Yeah, that's hard to come back from 21 down at halftime, but I'll tell you what, he sure looked athletic that return there. He just kind of made a couple moves and was just faster.
Fans come alive here on the third down as Minot High trying to make the stop. Munson rolls it back out again. He's going to be tied up in the pocket. Ashton Hillman's on top of him, and Hillman comes up with the sack for the Magi.
Very good. Good job of Minot there. Nobody really over-pursued. Everybody was disciplined, stayed in their role. Didn't try and make a huge play, and then all of a sudden one guy breaks loose, and now you have a big sack like that.
Munson's the punt for the Blue Jays. Ruziska.
Munson's going to punt. Hunter Ruziska's waiting for it at the 45-yard line. Can Ruziska show some more magic here for Minot High? He's got the highlight to the game so far. 80-plus yards on the return for the Magicians. Took it to the house after Jamestown scored their last touchdown, and Ruziska returned the favor. Play clock was down to 4. Yellow flag comes out on the play. Comes up to Ruziska. Back at the 45-yard line, rolls over the 40 all the way down, to the 39, and that's where Minot High will set up. But we'll wait for the gentleman with the white hats as there is a call on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
Looks like the officials are going to talk it over here, Phil, for just a moment before they make the call. This could be a big swing either way for the Magi. They trail 13-6 with 1:38 left here in our first half. Stick around for our Premier Movement halftime reports.
There's not enough men lined up on the line of scrimmage right there. Either one of the linemen or one of the jets or the ends on the outside just was too far back in the backfield, and that's cheating. Can't do that. So
yeah, never.
Kick it again.
So Minot High had the option. They could elect to take the yardage or have them re-kick it to Ruziska. And of course, Minot High's going to roll the dice and gamble with the junior in the backfield, waiting for it down at the 45-yard line after his last return with 1:38 left here. The Blue Jays are forced to punt it back away to Hunter Ruziska, and they're going to have to go deeper into their own territory inside the 15-yard line. Munson's going to punt it again. Ruziska waits patiently at the 50-yard line here for the Magi. Beautiful night for football here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Just a beautiful night in general. North Dakota Mother Nature has really treated us well here this summer into the fall. Munson puts the boot on it. This one towered up to Ruziska. He's going to make the play at the 50-yard line. He's going to cut to the edge again. Ruziska up over the 40, makes a cut back up to the 35, and Ruziska continues to impress here tonight. He brings the ball all the way across midfield, and Minot High's got pretty good field position here with 1:26 left in our first half of football.
Yeah, that makes that coaching decision to make him kick it over look pretty good. Now you're within striking distance. There's almost a minute and a half left, but I mean, from right here, you can even take a couple shots at the end zone right away if you want to.
Emke on the year has 2 touchdowns through the air. He found Ruziska and he found Kitchen last week. He fires it forward right on the sidelines. The play was there, but unable to pull it in was Kitchen. Would you like to see Minot High make any major changes on the offensive side of things at the end of the first half here? Anything that you see?
No, I think it's tough. Like the linemen, hopefully they can come out and make just a few changes here and there to kind of put them in a little better position to get a little bit better push. But a lot of that comes just from the kids and wanting it.
Emke swings it out. Kitchen's got it, makes a move up to the 33-yard line. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 to go here for the Magi as we approach the Premier Movement and Premier Chiropractic halftime report. We're down to a minute 7 here in our first half. It's a 13-6 ball game. If you're just joining us on the PSP Network, Jamestown on top of Minot High. The Blue Jays scored once in the first quarter, once in the second. Then Hunter Ruziska took it to the house from about 80 yards out on the kickoff. And that's where we stand. Ball's going to be intercepted here on the near sideline and up for the Blue Jays over midfield. And a nice play there. Picking it up was Thomas Ulmer. Correct me, I'm sorry. It was Austin Kessler, rather. 41 that made the play of the interception. And the first interception of the year for Emke.
Yeah, that's just one he probably would want to have back. Like the guy hit it pretty well there. That backer was up at the line, and then right as the play went, he reeled back and got himself into a great position to look kind of like Emke was throwing it right to him. But that's one that Emke will learn to read a little bit more as he goes on throughout the year.
46 seconds left in the first half. 13-6, Jamestown on top. Munson out of the shotgun on the quarterback keeper. He's hauled up nicely there. And a nice play from the Magi, number 77, Caden Turnbow.
Caden Turnbow with the tackle.
Turnbow, a big kid for the Magi, 6'3", $190. Playing on the defensive line here for the Magicians. Loss of one of the play brings up a 2nd down and 11 here for the Blue Jays. Right in the middle of the field. Deep in the shotgun formation. 2 wideouts on the left, 3 on the right. Munson's back to pass. He's going to be rushed out of the pocket. Burke almost had him. Fires upfield all the way up to the 30-yard line, making a man miss all the way down inside the 20. And how about that play there as the Blue Jays continue to move the chains, and Munson continues to show us why he's putting his name in the hat for a nomination for our player of the game here tonight as he continues to shine in the ball game. That play in the pass for Krober, and Krober had the reception and then made a man miss. Brought it all the way down inside the red zone here for the Blue Jays. They look to strike one more time with 7 seconds left in our first half.
Yeah, there's another time there where the defenders were there. That you got to give the quarterback credit too. But I mean, he did make a nice move, but Minot's got to find a way to finish their tackles a little bit better and not just get within arm's length, but wrap them up, continue to drive through, and that'll make a big difference in the game for them.
When you do that, and you teach these kids to do that in a position that you've taught very well, what is the walkthrough on that to try to teach a player that?
Well, now there's they have heads-up football is the one that I'm accustomed to. You start with everything with like being down on the ground and throwing your hips through. The big thing now that they really stress is to keep your chin up, your eyes up, but wrap up, get them off balance a little bit, get a lower center of gravity than the guy you're trying to tackle.
Munson from the shotgun position again. He's going to fire it downfield into the end zone. There is a flag on the play, and the intended receiver was there, Kallenbach, but an incomplete pass on the coverage in the backfield for the Magi. We'll wait and see what the flag is on the play.
Monson's pass intended for Kallenbach falls incomplete. There are flags in the play.
We'll wait here for the official call coming just a moment. Here it is.
We got illegal formation, 5 in the backfield. And we got defensive pass interference. Offset, replay, first down.
Offsetting penalties here. Legal formation in the backfield and defensive pass interference.
Timeout, Jamestown.
And the Blue Jays call a timeout with 2 seconds left here in half number 1. Clean Tech is a proud supporter of the PSP Network. Clean Tech is providing COVID-19 deep cleaning services for your home or your business. Clean Tech LLC. This proactive deep cleaning service includes disinfecting and sanitizing. Don't forget about Clean Tech's 24/7 disaster response and restoration services. Visit them online at cleantechllc.us. Clean Tech, coming to the rescue since 1992. How about this segue, Phil? In 1992, Minot High and Jamestown played each other. It was October 3rd. Hang on, let me go back to this. It was actually later in the year. 1992 state semifinals. Minot High put it to Jamestown that night 21-0 to advance to the state championship game, where the Magi ended up falling that night to 1992 in the state title game, but they had to go through Jamestown then.
Yeah, there's a lot of history between these two programs. Like I mentioned to you off air, I was involved in my sophomore year, one of those 2 losses in the past how many years, but it's always been pretty good games between them.
Munson on the quarterback keeper. He's going to be wrapped up, and that's how our first half is going to come to a close. 13-6, Jamestown's on top of the Magi. Let's head to our Premier Movement at Premier Chiropractic halftime report. We'll have all the stats from the first half. We'll break down the plays as well. We'll get you geared up for the second half after we take a look around the state also. Minot High and Jamestown in the West Region Affair tonight. The Blue Jays have the upper hand by 1 score. This is North Dakota High School football here on the PSP Network. Stick around for the Premier Movement and Premier Chiropractic halftime report. It's next.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3, on low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter at Network PSP and on Facebook at the PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
Don Bissett Motors wants your vehicle, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're offering overbook value on good, clean trade-ins. You heard me right. Overbook on clean trades. If you're looking to lower your payment, now is the very best time to bring in your trade. If you want to sell yours outright, sell it to us. Go to Don Bissett Motors on North Hill and get your best deal, or check us out at click to buy at donbissettmotors.com. We deliver.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Network is made possible by Planet Pizza, Don Bissett Motors, Clean Tech, 28 Tastes and Taps, First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Premier Movement, Shields, Minot's Finest Collision Center, 701 Realty, North Country Sportswear, Arbo Photography, First International Bank and Trust, and Tires Plus. Make sure to stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Network by liking and following PSP Network on Facebook and Twitter. Pro Style Production Network, it's game day.
Ty Munson, the quarterback for Jamestown, as his name on the score sheet 2 times in the ball game tonight. He's the reason that Jamestown leads 13-6, scoring both touchdowns here tonight for the Blue Jays. Hunter Ruziska for the Magi turned a punt return back or a kickoff return back and took that one to the house. Excellent run there from Hunter Ruziska to pull the game back within a score. Nick Hulberg alongside of Phil Shirek here on the PSP Network for the Premier Movement and Premier Chiropractic intermission report, or the halftime show, if you will. Phil, your analysis on the first half of football. In total, we've got a good ball game on our hands. Jamestown kind of showing some muscle, but Minot High's got a little flash there that brings them back in the ball game.
Yeah, I think the score kind of shows a closer game than maybe what it feels like a little bit. Jamestown's been pretty tough. Like, their lines kind of had their way, and like you mentioned, their quarterback looks like a pretty good guy out there. One thing though too, Minot does have the athletes out there. That Ruziska, made a couple moves, and all of a sudden he's faster than the guys on the other team. So, it was good to get him back in the game, and hopefully they can create, more opportunities for themselves, get a few more first downs. I know we've mentioned that a little bit, but what did they have? 3 offensive series there in the game, and in the half, and you, especially as a team with a younger quarterback, you want to get them a little bit more opportunities to kind of get in a rhythm, and it's really hard to when you only get 3 chances in a half.
Well, you talk about that. You talk about that flow. You talk about that rhythm. One of the things that Chauncey Hendershot and I talked about on the coaches show this week was that exact thing, that it just isn't going to work to only have 3 touches of the football on the offensive side. Puts so much pressure on your special teams and your defense. Again, we talked about it. It's almost like looking into a crystal ball. If there's a $1 million question, that would be it for Minot High football right now. What do you think, however, the message is right now with the offensive side of things in the room right now at halftime here for Minot High?
We got to just keep positive, keep fighting, know what's going to happen for them, and let's get 2nd and 6, or let's get 2nd and 5. Let's not, they had the couple plays there, the third down, it was 3rd and 10, 3rd and long. They can't keep getting 3rd and long. Let's get 3 or 4 yards right away, get some, get a little bit of downhill going, and then it makes it a lot easier to convert those first downs when it's 3rd and 3 instead of 3rd and 10.
For Jamestown on the other side, this is a fun football team to watch on the offensive side. Some of the formations that they're coming out with, 5 wideouts out there and all sorts of stuff, 3 on one side, 2 on the other. I mean, talk about them just a little bit and how good of a job you think that Munson's done in this ball game quarterbacking that offense.
Talking about their formations first, as I was talking to you, that as a quarterback, that's awesome. The one pass he made down the middle of the field for a nice gain there. I mean, you walk up to the field and it's in a situation where you kind of outnumber the defensive backs, and right away, you got to get – I'm going to throw it to this guy, and I got to get the ball out of my hand right away. And, 90% of the time, unless they kind of walk it off at the last second, you have faith that you're making the right decision. You just let that thing fly and be confident. Going back to him as a runner too, though, you spread him out, and all of a sudden you have a 200-pound guy running it right up the middle, and there's not, all your linebackers are out covering. So that's a pretty good challenge for a defense to face.
Minot High is certainly up against that challenge right now, trailing 13-6. 28 Tastes and Taps brings you the rundown of the scoring. By the way, if you're hungry, 28 Tastes and Taps will have you satisfied when you leave. You'll have a full belly, I promise you. The meal portions there are through the roof. If you haven't been there, you should try it. 28 Tastes and Taps, a unique menu and guarantees that your mouth will be watering. I guarantee it. Try 28 Tastes and Taps, open 7 days a week, located on South 16th Street, right across from the YMCA, a family restaurant that's locally owned. In the first quarter, with 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it was Ty Munson on the 1-yard run to make it 7-0 in favor of the Blue Jays. Minot High, in that first quarter of football, 1 series on offense is all they had, showing what Jamestown has done defensively, number 1, and number 2, offensively, like you're talking about, just chipping away at it little by little as they're getting down the field. In the second quarter, 3:33 remains on the clock, and Munson, this time from about 1.5 yards out, made the ball game 13-0. Point after attempt was no good, so it's 13-0 at this point. And then moments later, off of the next kickoff, after the score, It's Hunter Ruziska that took it from, want to call it the 11-yard line unofficially. He took it all the way down to the house, ran up the Minot High sideline on the near side, and Ruziska puts one on the board. Barch comes out, and he hits the upright, and we sit at a 13-6 score at the end of one half of football played. This is the Premier Movement and Premier Chiropractic Intermission Report. Big thank you to Premier Movement and Premier Chiropractic. Try Premier Movement. Their setup and the way that they're operating is absolutely fantastic. Accountability, it's the workouts that you go and do. It really is a unique setting. Group settings with personal trainers. It's fantastic stuff. I probably should get my fat self back in there before you know it. I'll be signed up, I promise you. Premier Movement, a big thank you to them. They bring you the halftime report right now. We'll come back and we'll look around the state of North Dakota. We'll also get geared up for our second half of football. Jamestown leads Minot High. It's 13-6 at the break. This is North Dakota High School football here on the PSP Network.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Network is made possible by Planet Pizza, Don Bissett Motors, Clean Tech, 28 Taste and Taps, First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Premier Movement, Shields, Minot's Finest Collision Center, 701 Realty, North Country Sportswear, Arbo Photography, First International Bank and Trust, and Tires Plus. Make sure to stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Network by liking and following PSP Network on Facebook and Twitter. Pro Style Production Network, it's game day.
Premier Movement here in Minot and Premier Chiropractic. Bringing you the halftime report tonight in the 13-6 ball game as Minot High looks to come back on the Jamestown Blue Jays here tonight. Nick Hulberg alongside of the 2001 Gatorade Senior Athlete of the Year for North Dakota High School football, Mr. Phil Shirek. And Phil, we get set for our second half of football right now as Minot High here on their home turf for the first time here in 2020. How important in your mind is a win for the Magi after a pretty disappointing week number one? On to week number two against a team that you haven't lost to in 15 straight matchups that you played them. How big is a win tonight for the Magi?
Yeah, I think the when you look and see the scheme of things this year with now you got those bye weeks that are built in. You don't want to go into a bye week kind of down and frustrated and things like that. So I think that more so than the no wins in 15 streak plays a bigger deal into it. And doing that, you just want to go into that long, how many days of practice do you have until the next game with feeling good about your last game.
Minot High, by the way, next up for the Magi, and the next matchup that they have will be a matchup against Dickinson. The Midgets come to town next week, I do believe. No, it's actually, you just mentioned that there's the week off there. I apologize. So September 18th will be the next matchup for the Magi. They'll take on Dickinson here. Bismarck Legacy visits Jamestown. That's the next game for the Blue Jays. Bismarck High plays Mandan, and Century goes off to play the Williston Coyotes. Tonight, the games that are taking place around the state of North Dakota, Bismarck High is at Dickinson. That might be a mismatch tonight in Dickinson. The Midgets down just a bit maybe here in 2020. Bismarck High, of course, as always, looking good. Century is taking on Mandan tonight, and Legacy is at Williston for a matchup tonight. Let's talk about that for just a moment, Phil. You look back to last week, and Legacy and Century ended up on national TV coverage on ESPN You can't get much better than that. How fantastic is that for not only North Dakota high school football, but, our mission at the PSP Network is to promote our local athletes. Well, you get ESPN on a national stage, it certainly does that.
Yeah, I think, like you mentioned there, what a great way for those kids that are, how many are going to be seen on a national level ever in their life, and they get a chance to do that their first week of their football season. So, that not only gives them an incentive to during those 2 days right away, but that's pretty cool that they're going to be able to tell somebody that they played on ESPN.
Pretty darn cool, absolutely. Tires Plus brings you the opening kickoff here in the second half. TiresPlusND.com. How about a 15-minute oil change? It's a drive-through situation. You just sit in your car. You can continue to work on your phone. That's what I do. Well, the oil's changed. Tires Plus ND. They really do make your experience fantastic. Big thank you to Tires Plus, Jared Lundeen and his staff. Locations of Minot and Bismarck now. Big thank you. TiresPlusND.com. Try the 15-minute Valvoline oil change. Or if you're in the market for new tires or service work on your vehicle, Tires Plus is the place to do it as well. Ozzy Osbourne and the loudspeakers here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. This place has become, and it already was in my mind, with the view that you have looking to the west side of Minot and the rolling hills, and this time of the year when the trees start turning, it's beautiful. But now with First Western Bank and Trust adding the donation to the field with the turf on this surface, Minot High soccer plays here, of course the track and field stuff, just fantastic. Your thoughts on the turf field here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium these days?
For football, I am a fan of the field turf, and I tell you what, if you've ever played on that old artificial stuff, that was not the way to go, because it really hurt after the game. But this field turf for football, when you get into the fall and beating up the fields instead of a muddy track on a rainy day, now you have a real playable field that you don't have to necessarily completely game plan around. You just get to roll with the punches, and everybody's on an even field, not just the guys who brought the extra long cleats. I think the only thing, as a player and now here as a spectator and stuff, if those trees were about 40 feet taller, it'd be just perfect if it would block the wind or block the sun just a bit. But right now we're perched up on top of the hill. The flag is standing at rest, and you have the big M in the background looking over the lights. It is a pretty neat view right here, that's for sure.
Minot High trying to make it a little bit neater here tonight, trying to get a win. Their home turf on senior night here tonight. They honored those seniors at the start of the ball game. You can go back and watch the broadcast and rewatch it tomorrow if you'd like, or later on tonight. We do have that presentation and the ceremony before the ball game here tonight that you can go back and take a peek at if you'd like on the PSP Network. Nick Hulberg along with Phil Shirek just about set for our second half of football. Thanks again to 28 Tastes and Taps. If you're hungry, you'll leave satisfied. We guarantee it. 28 Tastes and Taps, located on South 16th Street in the Magic City. Open 7 days a week. It's a family restaurant. It's good for adults as well. You and I could go there after the ball game and sit down and have an adult beverage if we'd like. Also, 28 Tastes and Taps, proud supporter of the PSP Network, and of course, Minot High Magicians football and all the contests in the WDA. Big thank you again to our friends at Beaupre Law, bringing you the ball game here tonight as well. Beaupre Law, located here in the Magic City. Big thank you to Beaupre Law, a proud supporter of Minot High football. We also have to talk about our friends at Arbo Photography, the leader in game photo coverage and senior pictures. The proof is in the gallery. Find Arbo Photography on Facebook and Instagram, or you can go online to arbophotography.com, ARBAUT photography.com. Big thank you to them, another partner of the PSP Network. Well, let's get it on. The second half of football is upon us as the ball's going to roll down to Hebert back at the 15-yard line. Hebert's going to break free all the way up to about the 27. And Minot High will start with a first down and 10 after the run back there from Talon Hebert.
Yeah, we'll see what what kind of adjustments were made out of halftime. And like I mentioned during the halftime, see if we can get a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5 situation here to start out the drive.
3 wide receivers on the right side for the Magi. Over on the left hash, Emke takes the handoff, then delivers it to Burke, and Burke's going to run it up the field, and On the second down, they're going to have a second down at 8 to go. And Chase Burke here for the Magicians. This is a competitive kid and a guy that, getting to know him a little bit through Vistas Baseball this summer, the coverage we had there, he's a guy that takes a lot of pride in his performances. What would it take in your mind to get Chase Burke going just a little bit more here in the backfield for Minot High School? No knock on the kid by any means, but obviously wants to get out and running just a little bit more here in 2020.
Yeah, I know. You know, he had that 7-yard gain and then that last play there, but it's just he's got to get reps. He's got to get the ball in his hand, and you got to get first downs to keep getting these kids reps. So it's just that one block away.
What's the biggest challenge, Phil, in your mind for Burke at 5'7", $175? I mean, he's built like a pit bull, but isn't the biggest guy out there by any means, with an offensive line that's just a little bit inexperienced. Is there some major issues there?
You know, I don't know if there's major issues. He's just going to be a guy that maybe needs open space to make guys miss a little bit. Like, he'll run over a defensive back and a linebacker, but he's going to need just a little bit more open space to get around them. The defensive lineman, he probably isn't going to run through too many of their tackles.
The drop play to Caleb Ring gained 3 yards on the play, but it's still a 4th down and 7 to go here for the Magi, as they're going to punt this one away. Hunter Ruziska's back to punt it. Shemp's back to retrieve for the Blue Jays. Ball lands at the 40, rolls all the way back. A favorable bounce for Minot High, all the way down to the 22-yard line. And here come the Blue Jays from back in their own territory. And again, what more could you ask for from Hunter Ruziska punting here for the Magi?
No, it's definitely easy to figure out that that's a positive, that their punt team has been a positive right there. Like I said, switching field positions, hopefully they can make a stop, and you know, if they keep inching towards the Jamestown goal end zone, then we're gonna have a game on our hands here.
Here comes the Blue Jay offense again. Wide out on the left, wide out on the right. Dead center, they set up in the middle of the gridiron. 3 in the backfield. Handoff here, and it's going to be brought ahead forward. Out on the lead block, Ruziska's going to be there to ramp him up, and then here come the Magi, and swarming of it, tackling there. And Minot High does a nice job on the first down for the Blue Jays, shutting down Chomp on the opportunity in the run there from Austin Kessler.
That's a big kid back there, too, that their running back right there, that Kessler. Good job at Chase Burke. You know, like you mentioned him on offense, he's flying around on defense, too. He's the first guy to get there, slow him down enough, and then, like he said, about 3/4 of the defense was there.
Little drop play there that comes back away and all the way up over the 35-yard line for the first down on the play there again for Jamestown, getting some reps there for Kessler, and Kessler's a bit slow to get up.
Yeah, they're that screen play that worked well for him right away in the first half. They the sophomore out there, number 77, Turnbow, you know, that's another thing he'll learn. Like, when they let you by like that, you just got to grab grass and like hang out, because more than likely there's a reason that they're just letting you go by.
9 minutes, 10 seconds left here in this third quarter of football. Man in motion for the Blue Jays. Handoff taken there, and it's going to be run up over on the right side. Nice job from the Magi defensively. They shut down the attempt from Adam Kallenbach.
Brings up second down.
Very nice play by Zeitz over there, flying around.
Second down, 12 to go here for the Blue Jays. 2 wideouts on the left, 2 on the right. Kallenbach, the man in motion. Fake handoff. The quarterback keeper, Munson's going to bring it up to the line of scrimmage, and then the defense for Minot High was there to shut the door. Brings up a third down now for the Blue Jays and 10 to go.
Much better job by the Magi defense there, too. When they got him, they didn't let him go, and instead of him being able to fall forward, they were able to stop his momentum and push him back there.
Brings up a third down and 10. 3 wideouts on the left side, 1 on the right side. Under center, or excuse me, the shotgun position. Ty Munson's got it. Munson has some pressure on him. He rolls out to the left side. Bunce is going to cut back all the way back up to the line of scrimmage again. And Hunter Ruziska was there to make the play. He had some help on the play from Minot High's 35. Jack Czar, the Magicians, doing a nice job defensively. It's a 4th down here for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, very good job there by Ruziska. You're kind of starting to hear his name quite a bit more and more. Like, pretty athletic football player out there.
Ruziska's back to retrieve the punt here as the Blue Jays are going to punt this one away on the 4th down. All the way back at their own 35-yard line. Ball towers in the air, goes all the way over on the left side, left hash, bouncing at the 40-yard line. Took a favorable Minot High bounce. Comes back that direction. Minot High is going to get the ball back. It will be a 1st down. We'll come back with the play in just a moment. Minot High trailing 13-6 here on the PSP Network. Don't go anywhere.
It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Ball's off to Kitchen, and Kitchen's going to grab the football at the 45-yard line. Minot High is going to move the chains on the possession here. We're down to 7:02 left here in quarter number 3. Minot High trailing 13-6.
That was a good job by Emke there, standing up, like seeing the pressure at him and throwing up the ball so Kitchen could tightrope that out of bounds line right there.
Our apologies, we're having some issues on our PSP feed. Hoping to have it fixed for you folks. Again, we do apologize. Handoff here to Hunter Ruziska. Breaks free, make that chase. Burke breaking free, and Burke picks up 7 on the play. And there's the run for Chase Burke that might unhook the plow for the young man.
There you go. Like I said, all you need is that one block the one guy to hold their block just a half second longer. And guys like Burke and Ruziska back there, they'll hit the hole hard enough. They're going to take advantage of it.
Nice play from Chase Burke. Brings up the 2nd down. And Minot High with the football again. This time Burke's going to be gobbled up and wrapped up there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. And roughly 3 to go here for the Magi.
Now we'll see what they'll do there. That time they did a true power I with 2 tight ends and only 1 wide out, and kind of took it to them there, but the Jamestown linemen were up for the challenge there. Got to get up to the line here pretty quickly with some urgency to get this play off here without needing to take a timeout.
Minot High trailing 13-6. Wide out over on the left side. That's Kitchen. Rolling out with it. Emke's going to bob it downfield. He's got Kitchen open. Kitchen grabs it out of the air, pulls it down at the 15. And how about the play there from Tegan Kitchen? Talk about Randy Moss. He went up and got it to Minot High. Moves it down into the red zone.
That was a very nice play there by Kitchen. That's kind of one of those where they fake the ISO up the middle and then come back outside, boot outside, and it's basically the quarterback's got to read if he can get it with his feet. If not, Kinch's his only option. He made a good enough throw to put it in a spot where Kinch can make a real athletic play and grab it.
2 on the wide out position on the right side. Handoff to Ruziska, cuts back. He's all the way up over the 15-yard line, down around the 10. And Hunter Ruziska dances his way to 2nd down and roughly 6 to go here for the Magi.
Yeah, I got to pay better attention to that interior line right there, but they're just running it right up the middle of these pass on this drive. Like, got to try and figure out here for the viewers what exactly adjustments the coaching staff has made, because whatever they did, whatever they've figured out with their interior linemen, it's working.
Under center now is Emke. Hands this one off to Chase Burke. Makes a stop, and then Burke stutter steps, and he's going to be gobbled up. It's a loss on the play, and it brings up a 3rd down here down for the Magi.
Kessler with the tackle. Hughes with the tackle.
We're down here in the third quarter to 4:29 left in this third quarter. Minot High still trailing 13-6 here on the PSP Network. We sure appreciate you folks for joining us here tonight. Make sure to like us and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter to stay up to date. PSP Network proudly bringing you the ball games for all Minot High athletics. The rollout, the pass, hammered there is Ruziska, but he stays on his feet, reaches forward towards the 10-yard line, and a nice pitch and catch there as it was taken by Emke, got it off to Ruziska, and Ruziska shows his power again, brings up a 4th down, however.
Hopefully it's just a cramp out there. The way that they, the trainer ran out there and is stretching them, hopefully that's just a cramp. Although cramps are never good, obviously the lesser of all the evils that it could be at this point.
Any issues with the turf versus the grass field when it comes to
cramping?
It
back in the day, when they were straight AstroTurf, they used to, I don't know if there was any medical studies, but guys would worry about like knee problems and stuff like that more with AstroTurf. With this field turf, it plays a whole lot like the natural grass fields. The only bad thing is if you get those rubber pellets in your eyes, but as far as that goes, there's really no more injury significance or anything like that that you have to really worry about.
Brings up a 4th down for the Magi. Barch is on to kick this one and looking for 3 points here for the Magicians. He can hammer it from here for sure. Talked to his dad just a few days back. He said this is range for him. He wasn't lying. 3 points put on the board, and Barch has brought the Magicians up to 9 points on the board. 13-9 now here for the Magi trailing Jamestown as Barch put it through the uprights. And the importance of a kicker on your team, especially when he can get you 3 points like that. Minot High now on the board, trailing 13-9.
Yeah, to make a good series and walk away with nothing right there is not what you want by any means. So even just to get 3 points, kind of hopefully getting the momentum back and get the guys feeling confident about themselves again, and by being rewarded with some points on the scoreboard there, that's big time.
School song plays for the Magi, and the fans that are here certainly digging it tonight. Hope you saw the intermission during the Premier Chiropractic intermission reports. Cheerleaders were doing some entertainment at the intermission. That's one thing Minot High should certainly be proud of. Got the best cheerleaders around, I'm telling you. You should see what they do for high school hockey. It's unreal. There's college hockey teams that don't even get close to that. They bring the flags out there. The figure skaters are there. Gymnasts. It's just fantastic stuff.
They have done very well at the competitions lately, too. That's for sure.
Ball's booted off all the way down to the 15-yard line, and it's going to be brought ahead Ford, making a man miss all the way up over the 30, right around the 33-yard line. And the Blue Jays in the driver's seat there with Kallenbach. He brought it up to his own 30-yard line, and that's where the Blue Jays will start here as Minot High has clawed their way back into the ball game. Minot High at one point trailing 13-0, and just like a week ago, the Magi now within a few at 9-13.
Yeah, that speaks to, the coaches making adjustments, the players responding to those adjustments, and just the mental fortitude of the players to not get too down and just continue playing hard.
Munson sends a man in motion. He's going to keep it himself, and Munson's going to break a tackle. Then he's going to be hammered by Ashton Hillman. And it's going to be a 2nd down and 8 to go here for the Blue Jays.
There's that Hillman name again, flying around, doing some athletic stuff out there.
Hard-working kid. Big smile on his face every time I see him. He's a former hockey player and, of course, played at Minot High for a bit. He's one of my favorites on the ice for the Magi. Saw him at practice here the other day. He gave me a big fist pump, big smile on his face. He was all fired up. Great kid. Ball's going to be handled here by the Blue Jays over midfield. And Jamestown has a break there. And the ball is run ahead forward. And the Blue Jays continue to move and groove. That time on the carry, it was number 6, Jacob Shemp. And Shemp kind of built like Chase Burke. He got out in the open and made a play.
Yeah. That time, too, that's another good job of the quarterback. He saw that backer out there walking up, You know, typically for all you young quarterbacks, you're going to throw it to wherever the blitzer's coming from. He did a real good job of doing that.
Shep's got it again. This time he's gobbled up by Chase Burke. And Burke from the defensive side of the ball hopped on top of him and brings up a second down and roughly 7 here for the Blue Jays. Just a beautiful night here in the Magic City. When I showed up today to get prepared for the broadcast tonight around 4 o'clock this afternoon, that wind was howling so much I thought we were going to be in trouble here tonight. Just like somebody hit the switch and the wind went down. So did the sun, and it's just been a beautiful night here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium for high school football. 13-9, Jamestown's on top. Munson delivers this one right into the hands up the near side. And the Magi are going to wrestle down the receiver that caught it there. And a nice play picked up by Kallenbach, and Kallenbach moves the chains again.
Yeah. You know, I think that time the Magi did a good job of forcing pressure a little bit. Their quarterback just kind of stepped up into the pocket, made a good check down there, and made a nice throw.
Wide out on the right side, 1 on the left, make it 2 on the left. 2 in the backfield. They're set up on the left hash. And the Blue Jays trying to add to a 13-9 lead with under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Munson falls back to pass.
Very good.
Little toss ahead forward, and the defense was there for the Magi again. Hillman right on top of it along with Wentz.
Yeah, that's a good job there. They, like we've talked about that, talked about their screen plays working, catching Minot off guard, like using their aggressiveness against them. And that time, big Deontay George in there kind of stayed home, and you know, you see him, you can't go as fast, and his teammates were able to make the play.
3 wideouts on the left side, 1 on the right, all the way back. Look out! There comes the sack, and the Magicians are going to have a huge defensive stop there, bringing it all the way back for a monster loss. And how about the play for the Magi? It was
Zeitz out there.
Tristan Zeitz made the play.
Yeah, very good. That's just a linebacker blitzing off of the backside. Did a very good job.
Brings up a third down and plenty to go here for the Blue Jays. They're hemmed way back in, almost at midfield again. Munson's going to try to toss it. He looks for an open receiver all the way down. Hail Mary to the end zone, and nobody home for the Blue Jays. It brings up a 4th down, and we're down to 38 seconds left here in this third quarter. Jamestown leading Minot High 13-9.
Hey, look at that. We came down the field, scored some points, and now the defense got to stop. You know, hopefully Minot gets a few more first downs here and continues to roll with the momentum.
Tide is turned here in the ball game for the Magi.
Hebert needs to return for the Magi.
Talon Hebert back on the punt return here for the Magicians. Ball's booted up. Hebert's got it. He's going to be hammered right there after he catches the football. And Minot High will start deep in their own territory from inside the 10.
Nick, I don't know if I'd want to be Talon Hebert right there. He made a pretty gutsy call of not putting up his hand for the fair catch, but he sure held on to that ball. Those guys were right there. That's it's not as easy as it looks, and probably not as fun.
Yeah, you got to have some guts to stand in on that one, right? With the bullets coming at you that way. Yep. My goodness. So Emke goes back to work for the Magi. Deep in his own territory. Ball marked at the 7-yard line, or where do they have it marked? At the 11-yard line for the Magi. Ran ahead forward, a gain on the play, but it's going to be a second down. It's still 9 to go here for the Magi.
Pretty good play there again by the Jamestown defense, like just getting a hand on Chase and being able to trip him up. Like I said, just a half second longer on that block, and
when you look at Jamestown and Minot High head-to-head on paper in the football spectrum, Minot High has been a dominating force in the West region for many years. Here's Emke, he rolls it out over to the sideline to Kinchin, but unable to connect there for the Magicians. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and a long 9 here for the Magi. When you look all the way back to 1975, Minot High has compiled a record of 291 wins and 170 losses. not a bad mark at a .631 winning percentage for the Magi. On the other side for Jamestown, they've got 168 for wins and 257 for losses. They've kind of shuffled around between AA ball and up to AAA ball. Here they are again in 2020 in the AAA ranks. To me, Jamestown looks like a team. They obviously have got a good quarterback here. They look like a team that is definitely going to have some wins in the win column at 1-0. You like what you see out of the Blue Jays here this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think they definitely belong at this AAA level, at least, with Minot and beating Dickinson, and it'll be interesting to see them how they would match up against a Mandan or Bismarck High or Century. But they're a program too, where I think just with maybe a little bit less populated city that they kind of ebb and flow with maybe some numbers and talent. But like I was playing when I was playing, or before me, you had the Erstedt brothers, and a couple years ago they won the high school basketball tournament, and I think they have one kid last year that kind of got cut out of the state tournament. You know how that went. Like, he's gonna go play at Division I level, maybe NDSU or some other. But they have athletes, and they've always been. I just remember being big. And looking at them right now, their quarterback's big, their running back's big, and they've got some big boys. So, they're definitely not outmanned here, that's for sure.
The gentleman you speak of was Schomburg, the basketball player for the Blue Jays for 2 years in a row. He led the West Region in points per game. Here's a nice little play for the Magi, and it's Caleb Ring up the near sideline, and Ring's all the way up to the 45. And the Magicians go with Emke to Ring, and the Magi move the chains, and they're flowing down.
Yep, there you go. Kind of the same thing that we've seen from Jamestown there a little bit. Just a little underneath pass, like probably 6-7 yards in the air, but you get into the hands of the athletes and let them run around a bit, and good things will happen.
Here we are in the fourth quarter, 13-9. Minot High trailing the Blue Jays here tonight. Handoff to Burke. He runs it ahead forward, and Burke is going to pick up 3 on the play. It's going to bring up a second down and 7 here for Minot High.
Well, you look at that play in the first half, it's, they maybe get a yard off of that. And now they're getting 3 yards, and hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. Guys making adjustments on the line, just firing out off the ball there.
Big thank you once again to Premier Chiropractic and Premier Movement. If you need to get back into the gym, talk to Premier Movement, visit them online. Really have a fantastic model there. It's very welcoming. Big thank you to Premier Movement again. Chase Burke runs that one up to the 40-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down at 5 here for the Magi. As Chase Burke continues to gain some yards here for the Magicians. Thanks again to Bo Prelaw, helping get us on the air here tonight. Without those fine sponsors, frankly, we just wouldn't be here, Phil. So a big thank you to all involved here on the PSP Network. Emke out of the shotgun with 2 wideouts on the left side, set up in the middle of the field for the Magi. We're down under 10:33 to play here in quarter number 4. Here's Chase Burke out to the outside, made it all the way up to the 45-yard line. And now there's going to be a flag on the play and some extras after the run there for Chase Burke.
Right in front of the Minot High bench there. Typically, you might get a little favorable call here. So.
There's a flag on the play.
Okay, after the play, we got personal foul on offense, 15 yards, first down.
Ooh, I saw it a different way. Surprised with that call, to tell you the truth, Phil, but then again, who am I to say up here in the booth? So that's going to bring the Magi all the way back deep into their own territory at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, that kind of, they did get a first down, though, so we do start off 1st and 10 here, but, Chase made a nice play there, and it's kind of had some stuff go on that you want to get rid of at the end there.
Motion man here for the Magi. It's a handoff. Look out, fumbled the football, and falling on top of it, making the play is Eric Wentz, but Wentz in a scary situation there as he had the football handed to him. He lost it. He recovers his own fumble, and it brings Minot High deeper into their own territory. When you look at the Magi and these big steps forward, then a flag on the play, and all of a sudden, then they just take 2 steps back like that. again here tonight. Certainly not out of it by any means. Still 13-9 the ball game, but those are the ones that Chauncey Hendershot probably has nightmares about at night, you'd have to think.
Yeah, you got to, as a coach, it just drives you up the wall. But at the same time, you got to tell them, like, we're having all these mistakes, but we're still right in it. So you got to spin it somewhat positively for the kids. But yeah, as a coach, you don't like it.
Amke fires downfield. Ball's going to be picked off for the second time tonight. Intercepted, and up and down with it was Carson Lamp, the 6-foot-tall, 190-pounder. And Lamp makes the play, and the Blue Jays get the ball back on the second interception of the night for Amke.
Yeah, that might be one early on the season, maybe he doesn't throw as the season goes on, but high school kids are going to not be perfect all the time there.
Bad break there for the Magi. Good break for the Blue Jays. They come back out on offense. A wide out over on the left side, one on the right as well. 3 in the backfield. A motion man here for the Blue Jays as well. Now they reposition it. There's 2 wideouts on the right side, one on the left. Motion man, faked handoff. Then it's going to be Brown ahead forward. There is a flag on the play, and carrying the football was Austin Kessler.
Yeah, I think they're going to get not enough men on the line of scrimmage again there. Just too many guys moving.
That is the challenge when you run an offense like Jamestown does with a lot of moving pieces that you have to gamble once in a while.
Yeah, there's just, the rule is you can only have one guy move at a time where, every once in a while you'll get somebody moving on the wrong side, and when everybody comes set, they just got to sit there, and a lot of the times that it's hard to do that.
Back to a first down, roughly 15 to go here for the Blue Jays. 3 wideouts this time on the left side, 1 on the right side. A man in the backfield. Hey, Munson takes it out of shotgun. Munson's going to roll out, fires it downfield all the way down to the sidelines. And the football's going to be caught, taken to the house. And Jamestown's back on the board. That one would reach the top 10 on SportsCenter. Might have been a blooper. Nevertheless, a touchdown is scored into the back of the end zone, and the Blue Jays have added 6 more.
Yeah, that might be one you have to go on the replay and rewind it a little bit to see that again, what happened. But it looked like the Minot defender over there was in a great position, and almost like he was going to make the play. The Jamestown guy kind of flipped it up. I think the Minot guy flipped it up, and then it just, for the Minot people, it went too far the wrong direction, right into the Jamestown receiver's hands, and then he kind of walked it into the end zone.
That was Shemp that scored the touchdown for the Blue Jays. Jamestown's going to go for the 2-point conversion. Rolling out to the near side, fire to the back of the end zone. Miscommunication there on the Blue Jays. Nevertheless, we got a ball game on our hands. Jamestown scores again. They lead 19-9. As we're all the way down to 9:19 left here in the fourth quarter. We'll come back with a kickoff. And Minot High will receive the ball. When we return, this is North Dakota High School football here on the PSP Network.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Network is made possible by Planet Pizza, Don Bissett Motors, Clean Tech, 28 Tastes and Taps, First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Premier Movement, Shields, Minot's Finest Collision Center, 701 Realty, North Country Sportswear, Arbo Photography, First International Bank and Trust, and Tires Plus. Make sure to stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Network by liking and following PSP Network on Facebook and Twitter. Pro Style Production Network, it's game day.
$19-9 ball game here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Nick Hulberg alongside of Phil Shirek for the call on the PSP Network as the Magi find themselves down by 2 scores late to the contest after Ship took the pass there from Munson. Kind of a blooper play, made the play still and ended up in the back of the end zone, and it's a 10-point lead here for Jamestown.
Yeah, that's one where if you're you know, if you're the team it works for, it's great, but that it's just like you throw your hands up on that one as a Minot fan.
Short kick up on the near sideline. It's going to be handled here by the Magicians and a head forward with it. That was Braden McCarty, and McCarty's up to the 35-yard line. McCarty had a great summer for the Minot Vistas. Did a nice job behind the dish. One of the catchers for the Vistas summer baseball team.
Yep, he'll be a guy that we look forward to having in a springtime baseball as well.
Future's bright for baseball in the Magic City. Future's really bright for hockey in Jamestown. This might be a year that the Blue Jays hockey team is going to be on the map, yeah. Here's Emke. He's going to fire this one forward off to Kitchen. They're up forward. Kitchen down with it. No, he's not. Intercepted. And the football goes back to the Blue Jays on an excellent defensive play there. Kallenbach was up with it, and he came down on the play, and it's intercepted by the Blue Jays.
Intercepted by Kroger.
Yeah, that's one where you kind of you teach your quarterbacks to, like, if you're going to miss, you miss long. And, you know, as a quarterback, though, you want to give your receivers a chance to get it, too. But, you know, next time he'll throw it, I think he'll throw it 5 yards longer, and Kinchin could come down with it. But it was a pretty good play by the Jamestown defender there as well.
My apologies. That was Krober on the interception. Now running it up for a first down all the way out over the 45-yard line. The big kid right there, 41, Austin Kessler. 6 foot and 205, looks bigger from up here. He certainly runs like it. He gets downhill and he moves the chains for the Blue Jays. We're down to 9 minutes on the dot to play here in the ball game. 19-9, Jamestown on top of Minot High tonight here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. 3 interceptions tonight for Emke. No interceptions on the other side tonight here for Munson. He does have 1 toss for a touchdown in the ball game. Fakes the handoff, quarterback keeper. Munson is going to gain 3 on the play. Munson is up to the 47-yard line. Quarterback rating for Munson tonight. What do you see in this kid?
He's been pretty good. He, you know, like we've talked about him making reads where he's checked down, checked off of wide receivers. That kind of looks like he was having in his first option, and you know, he's pretty good out there.
He's got a second down from the 47 here for the Blue Jays. This time he hands off again, and the Magi defense are there, and it's Hillman.
That's Zeitz out there
again. Excuse me. 24 makes the play here for Minot High, and Zeitz from that linebacker position has been good for the Magi here again tonight.
Yeah, he's had a couple sacks for him now, and you know, all of a sudden now they're 3rd and 13 instead of 3rd and 4. That's a lot. That changes quite a bit there too. So that's a big play.
Running play again for Kessler. Kessler was gobbled up by Zeitz. 2 wideouts on the right, 2 on the left. 1 in the backfield. Munson's got the football. He's going to look downfield. Delivers on the near sideline, and Munson makes the play. Delivered here on the near side, and it goes to Krober, and Krober is going to be pushed out of bounds, but the chains move again for the Blue Jays. 7:17 left in the ball game. For Minot High at this point, obviously a defensive stop is needed first here to see if they could hang on and stay within reach for Jamestown. They could almost put the lights out on this one if they could score on this drive. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously Jamestown wants to score here, but their biggest thing too is if they can keep getting 4 yards a run, they can just wear the clock down. Good job there, Minot with the stop, holding them only 2 yards.
2nd down and 8 now here for the Blue Jays. Thanks again for joining us tonight on the PSP Network. Stick around for the post-game show brought to you by Pro Style Production DJ Services. Make your event pro style with PSP DJ Services. Jamestown returned to AAA ball last year after spending 17 and 18 in the AA ranks. In 1997, the Blue Jays went back to the WDA after spending time in the EDC. From behind, Munson's going to fire that one ahead forward. And guess who? Zietz was hot on the prowl there. That was Urlacher style, and he gets after Munson. And Munson's in a little bit of pain after Zietz got him from behind.
Yeah, the Zietz got there just a bit too late. Like, Munson was stepping up into that throw, and he was probably lucky he would have, or Zietz would have had him really squared up. But he's been pretty impressive out there. We've kind of been calling his name a lot, and he's been flying around. That's good to see.
Zietz for the Magi. Trying for another stop here. It's 3rd down, 7 to go here for the Blue Jays. 1 wide out on the right side, 2 on the left.
Oh.
Right back to Munson. He's going to be gobbled up, and the sack is there as Munson hits the deck in hard, courtesy of Turnbow.
I tell you what, those of you that are watching, you probably saw that, but it just looked like a goofy play. Like, to me, I thought that was, a false start, or there's quite a bit of people moving and not enough people moving at the same time for Jamestown, but what a great play to stick with it there for the young Magi.
5:59 left here in the ballgame. Minot High trailing 19-9. And their defense came up big there on that last drive for the Blue Jays after Jamestown playing some pretty good football, moving the chains as well. Blue Jays are off to punt this one away. Talon Hebert again, and Hebert brings it up to the 30-yard line. And Minot High will bring out the offense as we're sitting with 5:39 left in the contest, trailing by 10. The game plan for the Magi, and the words from Chauncey Hendershot. Can you allude to what you might think might be said here in this situation?
Okay, we got to go down. We got to get some points right here. I think at this point in the game, the Barch has probably got a pretty good amount of confidence in himself right now after making that last field goal. Right here, let's get down. Let's get in field goal range at least. Let's put some points on the board, and we'll make a stop.
Minot High's got a motion bet. Hand off in the backfield. There's Burke. Makes a man miss, and then Chase Burke dances it up over the 30-yard line. And Chase gaining some ground for the Magi. A gain of 3 or 3.5 on the play, it looks like, here for the Magicians.
Yeah, it looks like they're, using that fake jet sweep to kind of spread the Jamestown defenders out just enough for Burke to slice through and gain a couple yards.
Minot High's friend is not the clock right now. It's down to 5:10. They trail 19-9. Kinchin's over on the right side. 2 wideouts on the left side for the Magi. As Emke calls the shots. Did a much better job tonight with clock management. Emke falls back to pass. 2 on him. Tosses it out to the near side. Hebert's all the way up to the 50-yard line, and the Magi are going to move the chains on a nice play there as it went off the arm from Emke off to Hebert. Hebert made the play.
Good. That's just nice, simple pass route there. Just to come back and good throw for Emke, and hopefully he can get some confidence off of that and continue to move the ball downfield.
It's those flashes from Emke right there that makes me feel like Minot High is going to be in a good situation in that quarterback position moving forward. Emke only a junior. He's going to have the same play this time. Kinchin's drilled on the near sideline, and Kinchin took a rocket there. Is right on top of him. Making the play for the Blue Jays was number 8, Joel Bowman.
Yeah, I think, after Ruziska last week, against Mandan, the cat's out of the bag with that play, so they're going to be there.
Tossed down the field again. That time the ball was almost intercepted as Emke had the intended recipient. That would have been Hunter Ruziska, but it got up into the hands. And the play was knocked down by Jamestown's number 8, Joel Bowman, one more time.
Yeah, that time was probably lucky that the first Jamestown defender got a hand on it, knocked it out from the other Jamestown defender, but it almost looks like the ball is slipping on Emke a little bit. Like when he gets the snap, it's like not going, his hands aren't going right to the laces, or he's just not, something doesn't look right where he gets that ball right away, but hopefully he can get that figured out.
What's the correction there? What do you work on? Is that a quarterback drill that you would work with?
Yeah, just like flipping the ball to yourself, even stuff like that to kind of get more used to it. But who knows? Like he could have jammed a finger, or there's a lot of stuff that goes on that we don't know about. But
3rd down and 10 for the Magi. Emke's back with it. Tosses it downfield. Got it to Ruziska. Bumbled it just a bit. Did incomplete pass to Hunter Ruziska. It's going to bring up a 4th down with 4:07 left here in the ball game. With 19-9 the score, Jamestown's on top. And does Minot High gamble and go for it here with the amount of time remaining in the ball game?
Yeah, I think it looks like they're going to. At this point, I think you're going to probably see a ball downfield where if Minot makes a play, great, and hopefully if they don't, Jamestown could intercept it and, you know, have a little bit worse field position. But I think you got to see Minot go for it here.
Emke takes the low snap. He's going to have to run it ahead forward. Emke's going to break free. Emke up over the 40-yard line, over the 35, and the chains move for the Magi. The right play call for the Magicians, and it just so happened that the low snap ended up forcing Emke to run the football. Your thoughts on a play like that from the junior quarterback?
That's the way it works sometimes. It's the last thing that you want to have happen happens, and it turns out well. So the good job of, you know, making a couple guys miss right there and then knowing where you had to go and getting to that line, the first down marker, and then getting extra yards there.
There's a Blue Jay down on the play. I believe it's 24. If my eyes serve me right, that would be Aiden Braun. We'll wait and double check. Nevertheless, Minot High moves the chains. First down at the 35-yard line, just what the Magi needed. They're almost at field goal range here for the March. Kicker that is 1 for 1 on the 3-pointers today. He missed the point after. That's number 18 limping off the field for the Blue Jays. My apology. That's Munson, their quarterback, who plays on both sides of the ball. Munson slow to get off the field.
That could, you know, could make everything interesting, but hopefully he's okay and he'll be able to get back in the game. Regardless of what team they're playing for, you never want to see anybody not being able to finish the game.
Big thank you to our friends at Clean Tech. Don't forget Clean Tech 24/7 disaster response team. If you've got fire or water damage, Clean Tech can help you. Here's Emke, rolls out, throws it downfield. Ball's going to go through the hands of the defenders again. That was almost the third, make it 4th interception of the night for the Blue Jays as Emke trying to make a play there.
Yeah, I think he's just maybe trying to put a little bit too much pressure on himself and force it instead of kind of going through his reads. He might have had that guy picked out before the play there, and instead of checking down, just let her fly.
3:43 left here in the ball game. 19-9, Jamestown on top of Minot High tonight. Home opener for the Magi at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Emke brings it back. He's under pressure. He's going to run it up on the sideline, and Emke's going to be brought down and hard right in front of the Magi bench. Stop of the play, and we're going to have a
tackle by Matt Anderson.
3rd down and long here for the Magi. 3rd down and looks to be about 13 or 14. Some clock issues tonight here at Dwayne Carlson Stadium. They don't have the downs and to-go, ball on, any of that stuff on the clock here tonight. Some issues here at the first home game. No big deal. They still have the gentleman on the sidelines. We can see that it's a 3rd down and long for the Magi.
Like everything else going on this year, there's a bit of a hiccup. So.
There can be some hiccups,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Big thank you once again to our friends at Tires Plus. All brands under one roof. Guaranteed lowest prices. And again, service after the sale at Tires Plus. That's where we take all of our vehicles to my family and, of course, PSP Network. I really do believe they're just on a different level. My experience has been great every single time at Tires Plus. Big thank you to them. They bring you the ball game here tonight. Minot High's trying to drive it down the field right now on the 3rd down, and they've got a ways to go. Screen pass comes back up. Minot High's going to move the football all the way over to the corner, breaking free over around the edge. And how about the play there? Eric Wentz from Emke, and the chains move for the Magi, and they're down in the red zone.
Yeah, I really like that play call right there. It's 3rd down and long, but you know you have 2 more downs to get a 1st down. Just throw the ball again like 6 or 7 yards in the air and let your athletes run with it. Wentz also did a good job there to get the ball out of bounds and stop the clock.
3:23 left in the ball game. Minot High trails by 10. Time is running out for the Magicians tonight. Emke's going to roll it out again. He finds Ruziska, went through his hands. Incomplete pass to Hunter Ruziska brings up a second down and 10 here for Minot High.
Yeah, you got to give the Jamestown defender credit there. That he got out there wide enough in the flat and with the coverage, and it's really hard to just make a nice soft throw over that. It's not. It might look easy, but it's not the easiest throw, especially running to your offhand side. Emke being right-handed, running to his left. You know, to flip that out there with touch is pretty difficult. So you got to give credit to the Jamestown defender to make it difficult enough.
2 wideouts on the left, 1 on the right. Emke. He's going to go to the end zone or towards the end zone to Hunter Ruziska. And Ruziska had the attempt, but it was knocked down. And a nice job again by the defenders for the Blue Jays. And I think getting the hand on it for Jamestown was Aiden Braun.
Knocked down by the fence.
That holding penalty.
10-yard penalty on the Magi. That's going to bring them all the way back. They'll repeat the second down. Down to 3:15 left in the ball game, and that one is a stinger for the Magi. They bring it all the way back up to the 37-yard line, and they've got a second down and a long 20 to go here to see if they can move the chains. You take a shot right at the end zone here, Phil?
Yeah, I think at this point you got to get it a little bit closer. I don't think you're going for. Oh, there was just like that, another same thing. Just a guy underneath, get the ball to him. They just weren't able to connect that time right there. But I like that play call where you're just kind of chipping away a little bit. You don't have to get all 25 yards at a time.
Eric Wentz comes in for the Magi, delivers the play call to Emke. We're in crunch time now as Minot High trying to avoid going 0-2 to start the year here in 2020. They trail 19-9 here to the Jamestown Blue Jays with 3:10 to play in the ball game. Emke delivers over to Chase Burke. He's going to make a man miss. Now Burke all the way up over the 20, down to the 15, at the 10, makes a move, and Chase Burke dances his way down for a first down. And there's the run we've been looking for Chase Burke in the ball game tonight. And Burke does a fantastic job getting downfield.
Yes, way to be athletic, Chase. That is, again, it's just so short. You know, you don't always need to throw the ball 40 yards in the air. You just need to get it in the hands of the guys who are going to make some plays. Oh.
Another holding penalty on the offense. 10 yards from the point of the hold, and that's going to bring the Magi all the way back again up to the 33-yard line. And another dagger here on the Magicians after a fantastic run from Chase Burke. Emke's got it. Turns it out, gets it over to Kinchin, and Kinchin's going to be hauled up on the play in a quick hurry. And that's going to be a third down that goes nowhere for the Magi, and a 4th down and long here for the Magi, trailing by 10 with 2:45 left in the ball game.
Yeah, good tackle by the Jamestown defender right there. Not really much he can do. Ruziska was out there trying to throw a block, but you know, it was good play by the defense.
Stick around for the Pro Style Production DJ Services post-game show coming up right after the ball game. We're down to under 2:25 to play here in the contest. Minot High is going to take a shot at it. Emke's going to fire downfield, throws it up into traffic, went right off the front of the jersey for Minot High's intended receiver, Eli Wetter, unable to contain the football. Jamestown gets the ball back, and Jamestown with a 10-point lead, 2:16 on the clock. They could pretty much take the air out of the football and put this one in the books.
Yeah, at this point I think we'll see Minot. They'll force Minot to take some timeouts here and do that. Minot still, if they can make a stop, they'll still get the ball back, I believe. So, we'll see what Jamestown does, how aggressive they'll be.
Munson remains in the ball game here for the Blue Jays, even though on the last offensive drive for him, he was shaken up just a bit. Handoff is going to be taken here. Blue Jays move the football up the field. My apologies, that is not Munson on the play, and that's 21 instead. My eyes are failing me from here in the booth. It is 18. My apologies, Phil. Munson is still the quarterback in here for the Blue Jays. Second down, 7 to go here for Jamestown, and we've got a timeout on the field. We're going to do the same thing. Minot High trailing by 10. We're in the thick of things here now. Down to 2:01 remaining in the ball game. This is North Dakota High School football, the PSP Network.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Network is made possible by Planet Pizza, Don Bissett Motors, Clean Tech, 28 Taste and Taps, First Western Bank and Trust, Premier Chiropractic, Premier Movement, Shields, Minot's Finest Collision Center, 701 Realty, North Country Sportswear, Arbo Photography, First International Bank and Trust, and Tires Plus. Make sure to stay up to date with the Pro Style Production Network by
Jamestown looking for a first down to see if they can put the nail in the coffin tonight to this West Region affair. And they move the football up ahead, forward again. And on the carry, it's Austin Kessler, and Kessler is going to pick up some yardage on the play. Now we'll have a third down and a short one here for the Blue Jays. .137 left in the ball game. 19-9, Jamestown's on top. Trying to seal the deal tonight to move to 2-0. The Blue Jays in conference play. Minot High would drop to 0-2 to start the year. And there's going to be another encroachment on the defense. And Minot High has had some issues here tonight. And that may just be the ball game right there.
Yeah, you can't fault them for wanting to be aggressive and make a big play right there, but at the same time, you got to stay within yourself and be disciplined.
Penalty on the Magi results in the first down for the Blue Jays.
It's easier done than said up here in the booth.
Especially from a guy like me that never even played football. Absolutely. You, on the other hand, as one that is one of the most well-known quarterbacks to ever come through the Magicians program. Victory formation is out for the Blue Jays. And the pleasantries are now being exchanged on the field, and the sportsmanship being shown between Minot High and Jamestown here tonight. 45 seconds ticks away, 19-9. The Blue Jays on top. And Munson's going to let the play clock work its way all the way down from 23. That's how this ball game's going to end tonight. One thing, a positive for the Magi for sure, is they definitely had better clock management tonight than we saw in week number 1. Some positives for the Magi on the board.
Yeah, I think, right away they started off with some jitters with some penalties and had a couple at the end, but I thought they were better clock management. No delay of game that I remembered. So that was something that probably got addressed, and adjustments were made, and it carried into this game. So that is a positive for them.
Between the Magicians and the Blue Jays.
First time in 15 matchups, Jamestown gets a win over Minot High. It hasn't been done since the early 2000s, and the Blue Jays do it here tonight. They win 19 tonight, a 10-point win. October 11th, 2002, Phil, is the last time that Jamestown beat Minot High. They won 24-14 that night, and tonight they put it in the books. They get it done. 19 tonight is the final score. Let's head to our Pro Style Production DJ Services postgame show after the Magi fall to the Blue Jays tonight here on their home field. We'll tell you how it happened when we return here to Dwayne Carlson Stadium with the PSP Network. DJ Services postgame show coming up next. This is North Dakota High School football.
Supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement of Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
Don Bissett Motors wants your vehicle, and we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're offering overbook value on good, clean trade-ins. You heard me right, overbook on clean trades. If you're looking to lower your payment, now is the very best time to bring in your trade. If you want to sell yours outright, sell it to us. Go to Don Bissett Motors on North Hill and get your best deal, or check us out at click to buy at donbissettmotors.com. We deliver.
It's time for the Pro Style Production DJ Services postgame show. Don't settle for anything less than a Pro Style celebration. Now, for the stats, analysis, and highlights, let's go back to the press box for the Pro Style Production postgame show.
19-9's the final tonight in Jamestown. Hands Minot High, their first loss to the Blue Jays in 15 matchups tonight. The Blue Jays got it done behind their quarterback. Munson was fantastic here tonight. Before we talk about the stat lines and our player of the game, Phil, your thoughts overall in this ball game. First for the winning team, Jamestown, and how you thought they performed here tonight.
Yeah, I thought Jamestown looked like a pretty solid team out there. They, they've got that big quarterback and the big running back, and I was pretty impressed with those two. And just as a team in general, like they were moving around and making the plays, and not too many mistakes at all for them either. Not too many penalties that I recall, and they played an all-around solid game.
It was fun to watch their offense and different setups for their offense. Touch on that just a little bit and how tough that might have been for Minot High to defend tonight when you all of a sudden see 5 wideouts, 1 play, and the next play you're under center with 2 in the backfield. I mean, touch on that for a moment here.
Yeah, that's something. You do see a lot more spread offenses nowadays and all like that, but for a team to go to like a straight power I with tight ends and no receivers and then guys in the backfield, and then all of a sudden you see 5 wideouts, it's a lot of communicating that you have to do, and communication, especially at the beginning part of the year when guys are getting used to each other. Like probably, there's some younger kids who are probably getting more used to the verbiage that's being used and the more complicated coverage schemes that comes at the varsity level as well. So that probably not the easiest thing to try and combat on the defensive end of the ball either.
For Minot High tonight, a team that now sits 0-2 inside of WDA play, in a position that they're really not a whole lot familiar with, being in a position where they start a season 0-2. You got to go back in the record books to find some of those. But for Minot High, what do you think the main message from Chauncey Hendershot is in the team huddle and the meeting that they just had just now?
Yeah, I think it's, you got to get better, and we got to get better as a team. It's not just, we have to make one guy here or there. It's just as a team, I think they need to buy into it, keep positive. I think one other thing that we saw tonight too is that there are a lot more guys getting a chance to get their hands on the ball, even though I'd like to have a stat as to how many offensive plays they were able to run, but they did seem to me that they gave more guys a shot. More younger guys came out there on defense and everything, and I think it's just kind of reiterating to the guys that, all right, well, the older guys that we know what they can do, and that we know the system, now they've had their chance a little bit. Now you younger guys, like, it's open competition. Like, if you want to play, let's step up and practice. Like, let's really start competing. We need these guys that are going to be disciplined out there, that know the scheme, that are going to run through the wall for the team.
When we come back to our Pro Style Production DJ Services post-game show, we'll break down the scoring of this contest tonight. Jamestown moves to 2-0. Minot High falls to 0-2, 19-9 the final tonight. The Blue Jays get the win. We'll be back with the remainder of the broadcast here tonight This is North Dakota High School football on the PSP Network.
Minot is now open. It's time to focus on your better health. Premier Movement is taking all the necessary precautions and guidelines for social distancing and safety. On top of that, by design, our workout classes have always featured small groups for better focus, accountability, and better results. And speaking of accountability, we're locally owned and take pride in the services we provide in helping clients achieve their fitness goals. Try a free 2-week trial and see for yourself. Find us at premiermovementnd.com.
53 on the game clock, sends it inside. Here's Allie Nelson to the right side. Cheddar's open, 4-3. On low, she scores!
PSP Network has one mission: promoting our local athletes while delivering pro-quality broadcast coverage. Stay up to date with the PSP Network on Twitter, @NetworkPSP, and on Facebook at the PSP Network. Like and follow our social media for your chance to win. PSP Network. It's game day.
$19-9's the final here tonight. Jamestown gets the win over Minot High in week number 2 action on the North Dakota High School football circuit. Nick Hulberg with Phil Shirek to wrap this one up here tonight. 28 Taste of Taps is now open. If you're hungry, you'll leave satisfied. We guarantee it. A unique menu. Open 7 days a week. Located South 16th Street, 28 Taste of Taps, a family restaurant that's locally owned. They really are fantastic. I'd also like to thank our good friends at Tires Plus. All brands under one roof. Guaranteed lowest prices. What more do we need to say? Tires Plus. They really are the best of the business. TiresPlusND.com. They bring you the scoring recap here tonight, and here's how it went down in week number 2 action from Dwayne Carlson Stadium. It was Ty Munson, the quarterback from Jamestown, 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter. He punched one in from just a few yards out. They got the extra point, 7-0. Jamestown led at that point. Minot High only had one offensive series in the first quarter. That is just as big of a stat line in my mind as the Munson touchdown that gave Jamestown the lead. In the second quarter, they made it 13-0. Munson this time from about 1.5 yards out with 3:33 remaining in the second quarter or the first half. And it was 13-0 on the missed point after attempt. After that, the kickoff that came to Hunter Ruziska was the highlight of the year so far for the Magi. Took it to the house from 80 yards out plus. And Hunter Ruziska brings the score to 13-6 as Barch hit the upright on the left side. Into halftime, we went 13-6 the score. Third quarter, Minot High rushes the ball downfield, and Barch connects on a field goal that puts Minot High back within a few at 13-9. And Minot High had all the momentum there. A turnover that was then off the hand of Emke. Brought up Jamestown with Shemp from Munson at 9:19 left in the ball game, and that was the dagger. Final 19-9 here tonight, and that's how it ends. Again, Tires Plus brings you the recap of the scoring here in the ball game tonight. Phil, time to talk about our player of the game. Hunter Ruziska obviously needs to be in that conversation with what he did again on special teams and his punting abilities tonight. That run back was good as well. But when you look at it, is it fair to say that the quarterback on the other side tonight to the visiting team, Munson, was probably our player of the game here tonight?
Yeah, I got to agree with you there, Nick. I think he showed what being a pretty mature quarterback is. Like, he didn't necessarily force a lot of throws. He took what the defense gave him, made the correct reads and checked it down, but also let it fly at times and also ran the ball well. So I think Hunter did do a great job, showed his great athleticism, especially with that run back. But I think Munson got him.
Munson will be our star of the game here tonight. Don't forget you can get deep cleaning services for your home or business with CleanTech LLC and the COVID-19 preparation stuff there. This is proactive deep cleaning services that include disinfecting and sanitizing. Don't forget about CleanTech's 24/7 disaster response and restoration services. Visit them online at cleantechllc.us. CleanTech, coming to the rescue since 1992. Phil, your closing thoughts on the ball game here tonight. The Magi fall to 0-2 on the year. Jamestown improves to 2-0. Let's put a cap on it here tonight.
Yeah, I think they just, going into these 8 days of practice that they'll have coming up, they just got to stay positive and keep getting better and just let the kids get out and compete, and who's going to want to play football and do the job that'll help the team out when they get on the field, and just kind of go from there and just keep competing.
They're off next week, as you mentioned, with the Week 3 bye week, with basically what happened at the start of the year with those West versus East showdowns that all got canceled. Opens up a week off next week. We return to action with the Magi returning to action on September 18th when Dickinson comes to town to take on Minot High. I believe that is the homecoming game for the Magi. We will have coverage here on the PSP Network. We will have more high school athletics and high school volleyball coming up next week. We had high school swimming on the PSP Network yesterday, so we will continue to deliver the best we can, the broadcast to you. Make sure to like PSP Network on Twitter and on Facebook. Like and follow us. There's player interviews, coaches, highlights, you name it, all on the PSP Network. We sure hope that you stick around and join us for more athletics coming up this next week. Phil, thank you again for your time here tonight. Fantastic job as always. Always fun talking football with one of the best to ever play at Minot High.
I don't know where that guy is, but I had fun talking to you as well. And what a great night out here at the football field. We're lucky enough where we got to come in here, and this year you're really appreciating it.
100%. For Phil Shirek, I'm Nick Hulberg signing off tonight from Dwayne Carlson Stadium. Visit the PSP Network to see when we're back on the air. We'll be there with high school volleyball next week. 19-9 is the final. The Blue Jays from Jamestown improved to 2-0. The Magi fall to 0-2. Until next time, have a good night and God bless.